All right. Transition to the main screen. There we go. All right. So, take it away, whoever it is that is doing tonight's summary.
It me. Um, Last time on Runelords, we started off the last session with, I would imagine, pretty much everybody expecting us to go into combat with a pack of werewolves. This, however, did not happen, and instead, uh, turns out Robin can speak Sylvan, which is the language in which werewolves speak. Um, and Robin was capable of conversing with these werewolves and coming to some sort of an arrangement that is completely unknown to the party. It did result in Robin's arm being cut by the werewolf's claw, and then they gave that warrior's handshake, and they sort of merged their blood together, and it was kind of really not safe medically. But Robin is not dead, and a detect disease or diagnose disease, I think is the spell from Erica that she had cast later, determined that Robin did not contract lycanthropy. However, after escaping the Ashwood and getting all of this werewolf stuff behind us, there was a large green light bolting towards where we had just been, and Robin had sort of got a loose interpretation from the werewolves of what this light is, and he believes, according to the werewolves, he believes that it is what's called as the Black Demon Witch. The translation isn't quite as accurate as it could be. Sylvan, the Sylvan language consists only of words that appear in nature. Um, so words that would appear in nature have to be substituted for exact translations. We did escape this Black Demon Witch. We did all sit down, try and camp. However, it would appear the Black Demon Witch is using the corpses of spiders in fashion of a construct of some sort, sort of like security cameras around the forest. So the Black Demon Witch knew where we were camping, and we saw the light on its way over. So we decided to stop our full rest halfway through, continue all the way through the Ashwood, all the way to the end, to our destination, Turtleback Ferry. So when we breach the tree line, we do one more attempt at a full rest, which we finally get. And this is when Erica does the diagnosed disease. Finds out that Robin is royally FUKT'd. His soul is prepared to be Thanos snapped upon his death, and he's got maybe a month to live, maybe a bit more, maybe less. Um, he's really not doing as well as onlookers may have originally thought. But after the long rest outside of the Ashwood, we get to Turtleback Ferry and we head over to an inn to, sort of set up a base of operations, figure out what's going on. And we're all sort of sitting in the tavern area, getting food because we spent probably a solid 48 hours not enjoying our lives. And we all get food, but Robin notices that the individuals in the tavern have Sihedron tattoos. So he, lets everybody else sort of know that something fishy might be going on. We have some antics of, putting off eating our food and having to go get salt and whatnot. But nobody is detecting as evil. So the group is kind of not as concerned that they have Sihedron tattoos at this point, more just confused as to why they have them. And after a short debate, we come to a vague understanding that they have the tattoos probably because they're being marked as sacrifices. similar to the ones that we had seen previously, where they were not tattooed but carved into the victims. So the tattoos are a little less visceral, but I think we all sort of agree that they have the same sort of purpose. Again, nobody detects evil that we can see so far, so it's pretty much just eating our food and enjoying our time while we still have some sort of relaxed atmosphere till the next piece of shit hits the fan. And that is where we left off.
Right. So picking right back up, you guys are at the tavern. I believe it is, but it goes by the name of the Sleepy Sheep Tavern. If I wasn't, if I wasn't, if I wasn't getting really sleepy before, I surely am now. But you guys are there. You had finished your dinner, and you were. I think last thing we said was you guys were heading upstairs to your rooms to have a conversation a little bit more in private. So, you guys head up, leave behind the table, and you were given your keys, so each of you can find a room. One of the, what was it? 4 rooms?
I thought it was like a big one and then 2 little ones or something like that. I don't know.
We'll say, yeah, it's a big one and 2 smaller ones, for the sake of it. Yeah, so, you probably get together in the larger of the 3 rooms, and have a moment to discuss your next step.
All right. Well, this is not the greatest situation that we could have arrived to, but it's also not the worst. I was half expecting the town to be a smoking ruin.
Oh, we weren't expecting it to be fucking rainbows and marshmallows, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are
that's
definitely in the right place.
Yes.
Yeah, at least there's that.
So I guess this is more a question for Sigus and Celer, and maybe you, Grigori. Is there a way that we think we could remove or disrupt the tattoos on people? I just looking at it from doing the most good. If we cannot for some reason find the location of Zanisha and her sister, or that they use the town's focus hostage, we'll want to have a way to get rid of the markings. I'm worried that they can use them to transmit magics or something.
Could I do a knowledge to see if I have any idea whether or not that's even possible?
Spellcraft.
I guess I could roll one too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And probably Sigus can as well.
I'll assist, I guess, with the spellcraft.
Yeah.
Not that he needs it, but just to
Hilarious,
get
pretty
you don't need it.
ridiculously boosted.
Oh, I rolled a 2.
Easy.
It's okay.
A
I'll give you
22
another
on a 2!
I rolled a 2.
Still gets the highest check of the entire group.
Right.
I do one
Sigus.
thing,
20.
guys. I do one
There's a
thing.
reason I hated Sigus. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sigus? So, first, the rest of the group, there's probably some way of disrupting it. You're not sure. You would need to be able to have some time to analyze it, get your hands on it first and foremost. Sigus, without having it close by and able to study the tattoo itself, you're not sure, but in theory, any spell can be dispelled or countered in one way or another. Some require much more power than others to disrupt, but in theory, it should be able to be done.
I mean, okay, so that's positive at least. It can potentially be fixed. We just need to find someone who's willing to let us poke at the tattoo. And obviously the more important job being finding Zanisha and her sister. Assuming Zanisha actually came here.
'Cause if I remember correctly, we have tried to dispel magic on Robins.
Robin's is a different thing,
Almost
though.
certainly.
His is an actual disease. I don't
I
think
don't
these people are diseased. I think they're just marked.
think it's very similar though. It could be a different level, but I could be wrong. But I think it's
Okay. When I did the diagnosed disease, we found out that Robin's soul is basically destroyed instead of going to where it's supposed to go. Right? Like,
And anything
Yeah.
short of a limited wish, or miracle will not do anything to heal Robin's cursed disease.
yeah,
Magic cancer. Let's call it magic cancer because it's
Yeah,
basically what it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is like this. Correct me if I'm wrong, interpreting wrong here, Bosun, but it sounded like it was like they more of a tattoo than like the weird growing magic scarry thing that Robin's got.
Yes.
Actually-
Yes and no. Robin doesn't have a Sahedron as part of the tattoo scars that he has. But the runes on Robin are from the same language as the Sahedron. They're all Thazilonian runes.
Well, that's worrying.
Also, Sigus, you are dabbling in blood magic, and with Erica's diagnosis of my disease, basically, this thing is pulling in just residual arcane energy from around me and just infusing it into my body until I explode. But you use magic blood to use your spells. Do you think my blood could be like stupid potent for that?
I do have a pretty right now. Like I don't know. Are you asking me? I currently am only using my own blood, and I don't really have a use currently for anybody else's.
The currently part of that statement is slightly concerning, but I'll ignore that for now.
Until I hit level
Nah.
10. No, like
And
mechanically,
then-
there's nothing for me. But
Fair enough.
yeah, it is a fun idea, but
was- Go ahead.
currently it would have to be inside me, and it kind of comes from my magic, and I don't know how that would work. And no offense, I don't think after your post werewolf handshake is the best time to experiment with this.
He's clean
Yeah,
for
that's fair.
lycanthropy. I'd be worried that he'd give you his magic cancer.
Yeah, well, you know, I kind of figured they used Belle's blood to keep me alive so I didn't die, and I could actually, you know, withstand the rune scar thing being put on me. So I've got a little bit of demon blood in me. I was on the brink of death for a pretty significant amount of time during that. So I believe there might be some sort of undead taint to a very, very lesser degree because I'm still alive.
I was gonna say, you
Um,
also don't detect as undead.
I also don't detect as undead. I also don't detect as evil, but like
No,
weird.
your aura's clean. It cleaned up more recently.
cleaned up recently. Okay.
Yeah.
I've also got a bit of you know, that werewolf schmeckle in there, and yeah, magic cancer.
You're just like a fun little loot bag, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, aside from our fun little loot bag, I guess, but okay, so we would have to look closer at one of these people for you to be able to figure out if we could magically do something, Sigus. I mean, would just, you know, cutting the tattoo break it?
Like, I think we should start with hopefully I can get a look at the tattoos. I think we kind of can operate under the fact that like either the entire town is like all part of a cult, right? Which seems unlikely.
They didn't immediately attack us, which is a good sign of that.
Yeah. If we make it through the night, I think we should use keep watch. I'm going to. You know, we should see if we get through the night. Then like I think we operate under the fact that like there's something going on, but it's not a giant conspiracy. And we try and get some detect magic on that, and then on a tattoo, and we kind of try and see if we can learn about that, and try and find Zanisha or whatever kind of puppet master is happening.
I think if, you know, maybe Silaire and I went and talked to some people that had the tattoos, it could potentially tell us where they're getting them as well. Which I think, if we can find that out without setting off a bunch of alarm bells, we may be able to follow that back to the sisters.
Well, you know who's
Yeah.
really good at not setting off alarm bells? This guy.
Yes, but we have to talk to the people to find that out. Unless
think
you
if we-
know when they're getting tattooed.
If
I
we
mean, or I could
spend-
just stalk them.
But they're
Yeah, I
already
think it makes
tattooed.
sense to investigate the town, and then if we don't have an answer on the tattoos, let's just throw a rager downstairs and get wasted with some of the sailors or whatnot, and then drunkenly ask them.
Yep.
I like that idea.
Fairly confident in Silera's ability to talk things out of people.
I appreciate you, Silera.
Absolutely.
She's got a fairly trusting face. I don't think she needs the booze.
No, and I've learned from my mother and other things that I'm pretty good at pretending like I'm drunk when I'm not.
Nice.
Oh,
My
no,
mother
sorry,
was an
I
actress.
didn't mean you had to go sober. I meant I don't think we need the party. I think we can just probably
The-
poke around the town and ask.
But having the whole party there is more fun.
I just figured it'd be a little more discreet than be like, hey, nice tattoo.
Well,
You can ask
I
a drunk
mean,
person, hey, nice tattoo.
Yes, but if we're, say, wandering around, for instance, the paladin is going to the church and asking about the state of the town, then, and happens to comment on one of the tattoos, I don't think that's strange if they're from out of town and it's a local thing.
Sure.
Right? Like, and I mean, in terms of keeping it quiet, like, I figure, Silera, no offense to you, but I figure simply going and buttering up one of the dock workers would probably be fairly effective.
I feel offended. Just kidding. Agreed.
Like,
I mean,
I'm
Sigus would
I'm
do
just-
it, but it
I'm
would
just
go
thinking
badly.
Keeping a low profile and not throwing a giant, being the random out of towners that threw a giant rager in the tavern might help us. We're already sticking out a little bit, but
Boo, you're no fun.
well, and we also have to check out the keep that's north of the town as well, because that was part of this whole plan that was mentioned. I don't remember what exactly, but I know it's tied in.
Yeah.
So we may want to talk to the captain that's of the garrison there.
Just for now, that garrison there, that is the garrison that is not a Magnamar garrison. That is the last, or it is.
No,
I believe it's
I believe Turtleback is Magnamarian. isn't it?
Magnamar.
yes.
Yeah.
Turtleback is Magnamarian. It
Illusion-
is
Awesome.
both Turtleback Ferry, Fort Rannoch, which is the fort that is just outside Turtleback Ferry, and Ilsurian, which is the closest town to Turtleback Ferry. All of them are part of Magnamarian lands. From there to the east, you would be on Corvosan lands.
Got ya.
And just as a reminder, because Sandy, you were wondering about the keep. You can look at this note. Wait.
For
Yeah.
though I
There you
had
go.
found the note for
Yeah.
Sinisha. Yeah, I
No, for
popped it up.
Sinisha. That should be the one that mentions Fort Rannoch.
Yes. So she's trying to take over the fort and direct control there.
right.
So I suspect that will be her strong point. So we may want to work the town before we work and find out as much as we can before we head to the fort. I'm concerned that that's where we're going to encounter people that are directly under her sway.
Awesome. So, go to sleep, spend a day, explore the town, and then make a new plan at night.
seems like a reasonable course of action. Try and gather as much information as we can. Try not to attract too much attention, and you know.
Sounds good.
Right. So
Sounds
what's
good.
the paladin of Iomade that looks like a paladin of Iomade gonna do to not draw attention? Are you gonna chill here?
I am going to go and work with the Church of Erastil to help with the community. Magnamar regularly sends out patrols to these far-flung communities, and we generally work through the local church or mayor's office.
Yeah.
So
I think
Okay.
we should.
if I act like I've come with as a leader of a patrol and just talk with the local leader, it should be fine. The rest of you don't stick out nearly as much.
I will point out that, well, you are correct. They do regularly send paladins and guards to check on the communities. Regularly is once per season.
Yep.
Yes, but I mean, it's less suspicious than me
Yes.
going around and talking to dock workers.
Certainly.
So it might be that I had important news or something. Like from the outside, you're not gonna know necessarily.
Yep.
I'm just thinking cover-wise. I think that's where I attract less attention. But
That's a good point, though.
To note though, I believe that they saw us all walk in together, so it's likely that whatever your cover will then become all of our covers as well.
okay, well, let's get our story straight, I guess. Then I know I could certainly be on business from the church in Magnamar, but the rest of you, I don't know whether we were traveling together or what you want to go with.
We could say that we met
Should-
on.
We should just find the most reliable one person who has the best reason to be here, and then we should all just be like, we were sent with this person for various reasons.
Grigori would make sense for the travel. Taking a ranger makes sense. The wizard.
I'll be with him.
The wizard.
Hired help.
The wizard, the rogue, and the bard. However, I think keeping it
Pardon
as
me,
close
I'm a
to the
knight.
truth as we can. You're not the typical knight, though.
Yeah.
Normally,
I'm
they
knight.
have a
Be
little bit more meat on
your-
them.
It could be your squire,
That's fair. He does have the longsword.
and the
Yep.
bard we just came across on the road, and she thought that she may be able to write a tale out of our adventure if we happen to find one.
Bard doing bard things.
True.
And we'll be Silera's hired mercenaries? Me and Grigori? Random
Well,
Elves?
the squire and the ranger coming with me would make sense,
Hmm.
right? Because they wouldn't send me alone. That's not usually how things are done.
Right.
But you could be a friend of Silera.
Yes,
That
that would make some sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're traveling with you because the road is scary.
Yes, we were attacked
And you
by
are
werewolves
honorable
on the road.
knights.
Damn
My
right.
heroes. My heroes.
My hero.
Anyway, so I mean that covers it. I will try and do my best not to get into that because I'm not a skilled liar necessarily.
It's okay. I
But-
got it covered.
Yes, unless we're separated.
And this will be good because I'll be with Silera. Because I cannot. Like, why are you here? I don't know, but I got some leeches.
Maybe you can hang out at the docks and feed the fish with the leeches.
Oh, I like them. They all have names.
Ooh,
God.
wait, are we naming your leeches?
No, they're all one name because they can't tell them apart. They're just leeches.
Oh. Wait,
Their
what's
name
your
is
name?
Gustav.
This
Gustav?
one is Gustav, and this one is Gustav.
This one is
Yes.
Gustav. This one is Gustav. This one is Gustav.
Oh wait, no, that one was Gustav. This one is Gustav. They're so hard to tell apart.
They're all spelled differently.
One is with a
Alright.
V, the other one's with an F, the other one's with a PH at the end.
Yeah.
One of them has a silent K.
One of them has an umlaut instead of a U.
Goose.
Amazing.
Anyway,
Kus-
yeah. Well, that sounds like a decent plan to me.
Sweet.
What do you, Robin and Grigori and team? What do you guys think?
I feel like
There's-
it's a lot of thinking
Well,
and
I mean,
a lot of setup.
you're welcome to investigate in your own way. Like, you don't have to necessarily stay with me. It's just if someone asks who we came into town with, we wanted to have a story.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
you tend to be good at getting into places, so I mean, as long as you're not going to the fort by yourself, you should be fine.
Right.
Sweet. So are we ready to head to sleep? Anyone got anything they want to do beforehand?
I
I
mean,
would
did
like
we-
to note
we-
that it is possible that the Lamia sisters have talked, and they have a description of what we all look like.
Ooh, very true.
Does that
Uh,
mean we get disguises?
That's why I was suggesting perhaps that we go to the fort last. I suspect that the guards from the fort and the fort itself will be the ones who have that if the townsfolk didn't recognize us immediately.
Robin sort of takes out his any tool, flicks it into a pair of glasses that have no lenses, and puts them on.
Okay, Clark Kent.
They'll
Sir-
never know it's me.
Surprisingly enough, his face does look a little bit different with glasses on. Just enough. You
The
can
wide,
tell.
it's the wide rims.
It's the white rims. It does change how you perceive someone when they have glasses on or off.
All right.
Erica flexes and grows a beard. No, wait, no. Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a risk we're going to have to run. I don't think the rest of us can disguise ourselves quite as easily. Although I do have my sleeves of many garments, so I can do that, but I'm going to stick it like a sore thumb to anyone who I actually talk to.
I do feel that it is probably best to stick together, just in case they do in fact know that that we are who we are.
Oh, sure, that's easy enough. then.
Agree.
Right. So, what is the plan here, guys? Out of character.
Sounds
Well,
like
we got to
we're
get the
gonna
fuck
go-
out of the tavern. So Robin's gonna
Yeah.
head out, and
what?
he's just
I
gonna
thought we
like
were
go.
It's
sleeping
in the
here.
morning.
Well, we got into town in the morning
Oh, right.
then
we
yeah,
slept.
did.
for 8 hours, so it's like the afternoon.
No, you guys slept from very, very early in the day, so like 2, 3 a.m. till like noon, and you got
Yeah.
to town early afternoon. So it's like 3, 4 p.m. right now. Because
Yeah.
you guys had
Alright.
early dinner.
Well,
Oh yeah.
I think it would make sense to stop by the local mayor or the church for me.
I
That's
think-
where I would normally stop first, but I don't
If we're
know
going
what
to
the
a
rest of
place-
you want to go to.
Well, let's all go together. So let's all start with the church, mayhaps. And let's avoid going right to the mayor, because that's all right.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's fair. Did you want did one of you want to talk to the dock workers as well? That was suggested.
Sure.
So mayor, dock workers, or sorry, church dock workers, and then depending on if we have time, other things.
Yes.
Let's start with
Yeah.
that.
Okay. So, you guys gather your things or leave behind what you don't need for traversing the town itself. And head on back downstairs. You do see like somebody else has come into the tavern while you guys were upstairs, and they seem to be having a talk with the sailors there, and sort of they look quite displeased. And then just as you're sort of starting to cross the tavern, they turn around, see you guys. They almost run into you, stop, sort of nod in apologies, and sort of gesture for you guys to proceed. But yeah, unless you wanna take a closer look at you. Oh, I must drop my keyboard. Goddamn.
How loud is he? Is he arguing with the sailors? Like actually having it out with them?
No. It more looks like it's less like a violent argument, more like a pleading argument. Like please, it's just a quick thing. I just need to make sure that if they got across, just to make sure if they came back or not. It's just it's a simple thing. It's not much that I'm asking. Oh look, dude, I'm off my hours. You're gonna have to wait until tomorrow morning. Yeah, we're having a little bit of a drink with pals. Come on, you'll kill our buzz. And that's when they turn around and almost run into you.
Sure. Sorry about that. Are you all right?
Yeah. I'm trying to find a friend. Sorry, please, proceed. I must run into.
It's quite all right. Coming on business anyway. Is it important? I mean, if we're going to be around town for a little bit, we could look.
Oh, no, well, it sort of is, and it's just a work thing. A friend of mine asked me for some help, and I made an item for them. They were supposed to come pick it up yesterday morning. I've gotten no news from them, and it's rare for them to be late, especially on their way back.
Where were they?
Sorry?
Where was your friend off to? I know the roads are quite unsafe coming up from Melistrian right now.
I shouldn't say. They were doing some private things. It's,
All right. Well, I mean, do you know where?
just out of town.
Sorry. Okay. Well, we're in the inn if you do need assistance.
I'm just gonna
Robin walks outside.
I'm just gonna cut in and say, if it's a matter of somebody's safety, we absolutely don't mind helping.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I'm sure they're fine and safe. But if I'll take you up on your offer if I feel like it might be a problem.
All right. Well, pleasant day to you.
Enjoy.
Likewise. Good luck with the weather, I suppose.
And I did a perception check on the other guy.
Which other guy?
The guy that
Taylor.
isn't talking.
So
That he was arguing with.
Yeah. The two guys that he was arguing with are the same two sailors that were having a drink when you guys arrived.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So you do know that one of them has a tattoo on their leg, and the other one has
Right.
one sort of hidden inside of their clothes, sort of on the side of their torso where it sort of sticks out, almost getting into their armpit.
Okay.
And just an ongoing thing, if I'm using detect magic, like
Yes.
if I cast it in the room and then walked around the dirt throughout the day, that would be noticeable.
Do you mean if other
do
people
my
would be able
eyes-
to see it?
Yeah.
Yes. Your eyes do have
Okay,
a little bit of a
then I'm
glow.
not. Yeah. Then I'm not.
Also, you'd be muttering to keep it going.
No. You don't have to continue using the verbal
Oh, you
or
don't have
somatic
to keep
components.
the
Yeah.
components.
Nope.
Okay, I thought you had to recast or something.
No, once you
No.
cast it, you just maintain
Concentration.
concentration. Correct. It does, like, all of the detection spells do have a little bit of a visual component to them. It's not, like, openly noticeable where it's like somebody across the street will see you and, like, he's casting a spell. It's more like,
Yeah, but I
if
can't just
you're-
like stroll around.
yeah, if you're 10 feet away from somebody casting detect magic, it's gonna look weird because shadows are not gonna be cast on your eyes as they have, like, an inner glow.
Okay,
Like-
cool.
It almost looks like you have a cat's eye effect on it. Like, it produces light instead of absorbing it. But yeah, you guys walk out back into the rain. Once again, it's raining, pouring. In fact,
Sarah, or not Sarah, Erica, kind of sleeves of many garments, like a raincoat over herself.
All right.
Because she should have done that beforehand.
Yep. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna pull his hood up and tuck into the rain.
Yep. Robin will, many garments and then flick his any tool into like a super basic umbrella.
Losing his disguise.
All right. Yeah, you guys get a poncho, a little bit of a tarp over yourselves, or an umbrella in the other case, and you go across the street, just across the plaza, into the massive stone building that is the Church of Aristil. And surely enough, the doors are open right now, sort of slightly ajar, so as to not let in too much of a rain and breeze. As you walk in, you would see that there are 6 people on the what are they called? Pews.
Yep.
Sort of not necessarily praying, but sort of contemplating and sort of taking a moment, because there's not much to do when it's pouring like it is right now in towns like these. And from the looks of it, there is a cleric up at the front, and they're having a conversation with 2 other people, sort of going over some papers. From the looks of it, like they're all 3 of them are holding parchment papers and books, and they're sort of looking over the documents that each hold. Sort of almost looks like an impromptu meeting. And they don't seem to have noticed the fact that 5 people walked into the church. But there it is. Nobody actually.
If they haven't noticed, prestidigitation. I'm dry now.
Nobody seems to be paying you much attention. Some of the people in the pews do like sort of look over their shoulder when they hear the doors open up a little bit. But they immediately go back to what they're doing. And you can tell like the people in the meeting sort of looked up and then back into their papers.
All right. Well, I mean, who wants to lead this conversation? I guess. What do we want to know from them?
Oh, I think you're up.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, I think this is your time to shine.
Okay.
In a church.
We're just trying to. The goal is to just like get us so that we have a reason for being here and be like, what's up going on with the town.
That's a more out of character question, I guess, than I should have done. But it, like, just so that I'm clear on what we're trying to get out of this, we are trying to figure out what's going on with the town. We're here to check in, and any news with the town, any news with Garrison. Should I mention the tattoos at all?
I
Maybe not
wouldn't.
Yet.
Yeah, I wouldn't yet.
See if it comes up.
Maybe ask more vague questions at first, just to kind of inquire about the town itself and not
Status report kind of stuff.
Yeah, like status report, anything that they need done or anything like that. I feel like if we bring up too much, we know what's going on in the town. There's issues, blah blah blah. That it'll, depending.
Yeah.
You
Well,
don't want to.
We can gain their trust a little bit if we do some stuff for them potentially.
Right.
Classic.
Right. Agreed. Agreed. Don't want to lead suspicion on us that we're doing something that we know we're doing that we don't necessarily want them to know quite yet, maybe, until we trust them.
Yep. Sure. All right. I guess Erica will kind of, shake off the poncho and kind of pull her holy symbol out in front of her armor and kind of flag everyone to follow her up towards the front.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so you guys sort of march down the center aisle of the church, head on up to the altar next to which the meeting is going on. And as
we'll wait if they don't turn to greet us.
Yeah, no. As you guys are sort of approaching and the sound of your footsteps becomes a little bit louder, the 3 people sort of stop what they're doing, look up, and and the clerics clearly like gestures for them to take a minute. The other two move out of the way and continue to go over the papers, while the cleric sort of closes the book, tucks it under their arm, and comes closer to greet you and says, "Good afternoon. I don't recognize your faces. I'm terribly sorry. Welcome to Turtleback Ferry. How can I help you?"
Hello there. My name is Erica. I'm with the Church of Iomedae in Magnamar. We're up this way, and we're sent to check in on Turtleback Ferry and the fort. And I was wondering if you had any news. Typically, we stop in with the local leaders, so yourself, the mayor, and we're doing our rounds. We just recently arrived.
Give me a bluff check.
I mean, technically, none of that was a lie.
Technically, it is a lie because you weren't sent here for this
Yeah.
purpose.
No, we were sent to check in on Turtleback Ferry.
Yes.
And also
I
deal
do.
with the
I
issue.
do need a bluff check from you.
Okay.
Because there is one big issue with what you said. He sort of looks at you, and he looks a little bit concerned for a second. Do you know who you're supposed to be meeting here in Turtleback Ferry?
Typically, we talk to the mayor and the local church leaders.
Yes.
I wasn't given a specific name.
Oh, that's strange. Well, let
Can
me...
I knowledge local to see if I know the name? Because I grew up like across the river.
Oh no, you're pretty. You grew up pretty far from here. The
No,
man.
I grew up like on the same lake.
No, this is Clay Bottom Lake. You grew up farther south and to the west, but it doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah.
The man sort of looks at you, Erica, and says, it's all right. Let me reintroduce myself then. I'm Mayor Lynn Shreed, mayor and head priest here in Turtleback Ferry. You said your name was...
Well, that makes this job easier. Erica Delgado.
Bless you. And he shakes your hand.
I haven't ever been this far out. I apologize not knowing that you were one and the same there.
It's quite all right. I don't have much of a fame myself. So, I'm quite aware we are up to code and date on taxes and payments for the city of Magnamar, but is something else the problem?
No problems. It was more of a routine patrol. Typically, well, when I'm not working with this group, my other partner and I would do demon hunting and sort out problems for local villages. So, on the way up here with this group, we all met up and we're looking to see if there's anything going on here. Just kind of, run-of-the-mill things that towns need done.
If it helps, we did hear rumors of werewolves and undead in the forest just south, so we were just checking in on towns nearby to make sure that there's been no incidents.
Yes, I should introduce you to the rest of the group. That there is Grigori, our ranger. We have Robin. He's a fellow paladin.
And as you're introducing everyone, he does move up to them to shake each person's hand.
Yep. And as you're introducing Robin, he's gonna be like, "Hey, I'm Hawk."
Yes, Hawk. And Sigus and Silera.
Well, once again, welcome to Turtleback Ferry. Apologies if I'm a little bit on a rush. We do have some issues with our crops, with the weather being so drastic past couple weeks.
I did notice that on the trip up here.
Yes.
This is unseasonal.
A little bit, but not too terribly so. We are a little bit concerned that it might affect next year's harvest if the water runs through the soil too harshly. So we're looking into that. Was there something that I could help you with that doesn't require too much of my time? I do
No,
have.
we're really looking more to try and help you here. So
Um,
it's more if you had any issues that you had noticed recently, we're just
well, we did send for a reinforcement. A couple of men. We need a few scouts, a few rangers, from Fort Rannoch. We haven't gotten word back. Well,
All right.
that's
Well, that's on
odd.
us then.
yes,
I
All right,
mean,
Grigori, you want to go?
what were the scouts and rangers for, may I ask? Just
well,
keeping watch in the town?
yes, we were a little bit concerned with the amongst other things. We've been witnessing a little bit more activity from the forest nearby, so we were just simply out of concern. I wanted to get a new prospection of the land, make sure that no wild animals had moved in, or worse still, that some ogres or giants had made it past Fort Rannoch.
Well, I mean, we can certainly take a loop through the local woods for you if that's what you're looking. But I understand that you need a more permanent solution. Um,
A quick solution would be best, but a long-term solution would be ideal.
yes.
I mean,
So,
if we find them, we could just kill them, and that's a long-term solution.
well, yes, but
Grigori's right.
if some have made it past Grigori, we'll need the town will need heads up if more make it through the same way.
Precisely.
Obviously, we'd be able to deal with these ones, but okay, so
As I said,
that's
an
certainly
immediate,
one thing.
as I said, an immediate solution would be good, would be most agreeable, but a long-term solution.
What type
is,
of activity have you noticed?
Well,
If we're going to take this on,
a few wild animal carcasses have been found, which is rather typical. It has happened a few times in the past when a cougar, a fire-pelt cougar, or a bear has moved closer to the nearby lands. We have found such remains. Well, it doesn't hurt to be cautious.
it's fair, especially being so close to the plateau
Yes.
and the mountains.
And well, with winter coming, and well, it is around the time where the animals do get most riled up, gathering food for their winter hibernation. So, I wouldn't want one of my subjects to be damaged or suffer any injuries in the process.
Certainly. Well, I mean, we'll take care of the immediate survey first, but we are planning on stopping in at Fort Rannoch, so we can check and see what the delay is with your scouts as well.
Certainly. Give me just a moment. Heinrich, the road north, is it still flooded? No, sir. Yes, you should take the northwestern road out of town if you're heading towards Fort Rannoch. I would suggest if you do see any kind of overflow of the water, if you do see that there is no shore to the river, do veer away from it. We have had a few strong growths of the river lately, in past years, I mean. And more than a few have been injured or lost their lives. The river is quite treacherous and does surprise you with how it can grow.
Flash flooding? Flash
What?
flooding? I guess I can't speak.
No, not necessarily a flash flood, but a rush of water from the nearby dam. Every now and then it does open its gates. Hasn't happened in quite a few years, but
Oh. Would all this rain be cause for something like that?
well, we are foreseeing a sudden growth of the river. It could be that well, the dam might open its floodgates soon. We might be seeing a flash flood, but the town should be safe, even if that does happen.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time. we're just staying in the local inn if there is anything else that comes up. Are there any other members of the town that we should check in with, since you lead both areas?
No, but if you cannot find me, or if I'm busy, Heinrich over there, he's my assistant. Whenever I'm not available, he makes himself available at the office. Just in case, my office is just behind the church. It's the building right next to it. I suppose if you're looking for transportation out of town, you should head down to the docks and ask for. Who's working this season? You should ask for Jekyll. Mr. Jekyll should
Jekyll?
be. Mr. Jekyll, yes. He should be available for any kind of needs you might have of the ferry. You need to cross the lake for any reason.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. Well, we appreciate your time and out of your busy day. Like I said, if anything else comes up, we are just in the inn. We probably will not be staying more than a couple days.
Right. Well, there is always use for adventurers and paladins, so I will make sure to let you know if there's anything I can, any tasks I have for you. Thank you. And if you'll allow me, I do have a meeting to get.
All right. Well, pleasure to meet you. Can I do, like, as we're kind of turning away, can I do a quick perception check just to see if I notice any weird tattooing?
Sure. Go for it. And if anyone else in the party wants to do the same, you're welcome to do so.
Because Erica is blind.
Did anything that he say give me pause at all? Like he was maybe lying or anything? Do you want me to do a sense motive on that?
Probably worth a shot. I could do
You're
that
welcome
as well.
to do so.
Sigus was honestly not paying attention too much. He was mostly like gazing around the room and checking out other people.
Yeah.
If that's
So-
allowed.
If you weren't paying attention, I'll give you a penalty, but go ahead and roll me still.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, yeah.
If you're still like doubtful of what might have been said. No, you weren't paying attention clearly.
Yeah.
Robin, Grigori, and Salera, the three of you are pretty certain that neither the mayor nor Heinrich, at least from what you've been able to see, have any tattoos anywhere that might be visible. However, I will point out the prayer, the mayor priest, does have rather heavy clothes on them. In fact, you can go ahead and look at the. No, that's his beautiful
He
face.
looks like an unhappy man.
He's a very busy man.
Believe it.
Yeah. Neither him or his assistant have any tattoos visible on them, and as far as you could tell, he seems concerned about what's going on, but not terribly so. He seems to be in control of the situation,
All right.
That's what he thinks.
or at least he thinks he is in control of the situation.
Yeah, I was gonna say, once we get kind of clear of the church and away from people.
Yeah. Back into the ring you go.
Erica will kind of grab the others and be like, I have a suspicion on what the method of harvesting would be for Zanisha's sister if she's taken control of Fort Rennick. I think she may release the dam and flood the town.
That is,
That would explain the rain as well.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that would make sense.
And it's been raining for what, 3 weeks?
Something like that.
Yep.
Okay, this is going to be interesting.
But we're here now, so
Yes. Right. So, did we want to go swing by the docks, or do we want to follow up on what the mayor mentioned immediately? I don't know how well you'll be able to track with all this rain, Grigori.
I mean, if it is giants that we'll be tracking, I feel like it won't be too hard even with the rain, but
Fair.
it
I
depends.
mean, part of the problem is we don't know what we're looking for exactly as well. But
Something that shouldn't be here.
yes, and
Yep.
there's animal carcasses, so that ought to help.
I mean, I think the best course of option is to go to fort and see if it's been taken over.
I
How
don't.
would we know?
Well,
don't
I can
disagree,
sneak in
but they
and I
do
can figure
mind
out what's
control
going
people.
on, and then I can sneak out.
Alright.
I mean, yes, you can, but if you're somehow detected, waylaid, or otherwise, you're going to be completely alone. And we'll be down a team member.
So you guys don't do anything dangerous, and if something explodes inside of the fort, kick the door in and come save me.
My worry is it wouldn't explode. You would just not come back.
But I can just make an explosion if something bad happens.
Unless it happens before you know it's happening. Anyway, but that said, I think taking a look at whatever's in the woods is not necessarily a bad idea, but I agree checking in on the fort is also not a bad idea. I don't know here. I don't want to make decisions for the whole group.
How far away from town is the fort?
That's a good question.
Give me just 1 second. I'm gonna check the more detailed map for the region.
Because we're gonna have to take the northwest road and bypass the straight line by the sound of it.
No, the northwest road is the shortest line. Which is
why
why
was
they
he
were
saying
telling
not
you.
to take the other road.
No, they were saying you can take the northwestern road. If you see any flooding, steer away from it.
Oh, yeah,
Meaning-
the river is really strong. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
if it's already flooding, you're looking at a flash flood coming your way. It is about 15 miles to the fort, uphill and into a mountain. So about a little bit more than half a day's like forced
So-
march.
So it's a little late for that now.
You would be arriving
if
like
we're-
Yeah.
midnight if you left now, or past
Yeah,
midnight.
So
let's,
maybe let's check on some stuff around town first, and maybe start seeing
In the
if we
morning.
can find tracks, and then based on what we find today, head up there tomorrow.
Yep.
All right, I mean, I'm gonna just put this out here. We took a detour, got here a little later than we wanted to, so we should kind of kick this mule in the ass, this ass in the ass, as it were, and we should like start doing it like immediately. So I think if you guys want to go take a look in the forest, if you see anything that could like
think
I don't know be a problem, just get the fuck out.
Robin, you do know that we actually made good time getting here, right? So we ran
mean-
most of the night.
well, we
Yes,
went.
but we
No,
went to
yeah.
Corvosa instead of
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
straight here, so it took us a little bit longer than we probably should have got here.
Not
I
that
just-
much
I think
longer
it's
if we were
feel that- I
think it
traveling
makes-
on road,
I
but
thi-
anyway.
I think it makes sense to prioritize the fort, but like, and checking out stuff in the forest is like a great reason to do that, because they're both in the same direction, if I understand.
Yes.
Well, the forest is right on the edge of town, isn't it?
No.
Sorry,
the
different forest.
the forest. There's
Yes.
there is a little bit of a ways to the forest proper. The Ashwood is the forest that is nearest. So like the edge of the Ashwood is like 5-6 miles away from here.
But they're finding the dead animals kind of like in around the city.
The
right?
farmlands, because around the town there's
Oh,
just
farmland-
farmlands.
Farmlands go for a while then.
Yeah,
Okay.
for 5 miles, up to the edge of the forest. In fact, I'll move you to. I'm gonna get that out of the way. Get back.
'Cause, yeah, I guess it
In-
just
in
comes
ter-
down to
in-
what do we want to do? Do we want to hang around here for like a day, or do we just want to move right onto the fort and then come back to the town?
So, out of character, I feel like you should make use of Robin's ability to scout and like have Robin just investigate the fort alone because he can get there faster than anybody else, and he can just find out what's going on and then leave. And if there's something to update with, there's something to update with. But all he needs to do is just not get in shit. Which,
I mean, if
granted,
you're-
he likes doing, but he
if-
also
if-
will be alone, and he's gonna just survey and then leave.
If you're literally just running up to the fort, running around the fort, and running back, and you can somehow be invisible the entire trip, then that's one thing. But if you're going to be like, visible on the road and potentially attacked by whatever coming out of the forest or get caught in a flood, I don't know that.
Flood won't affect me that much because I'll be able to run along the water to the closest point where there's land, and I'll be able to not get hit by it. The flood literally doesn't affect me at all.
When
I
you
ignore
can-
it'd be
difficult
hard
terrain,
for him to-
so
when you
It'd be
can
hard for him
run.
to get caught in it.
Yeah.
It's not like it wouldn't affect, but yeah, it is.
Yeah. As
much
long as
harder to get him caught.
Yeah, out of character, as long as Robin is aware of the flood coming and he can start running on water, he can essentially do like jump over obstacles to avoid getting caught by it.
and I can run up waterfalls if need be. So it's fine.
Just for clarification, where they're finding the bodies at, roughly?
They said in the farmlands nearby, so anywhere in this area over here. They didn't specify. Yeah.
Like,
I was
No,
hoping he
like-
pointed a direction even in the building, like, oh, they're like we found like bodies over there.
I mean, probably if we went and talked to any of the farmers, they'd be like, "Oh, the corpses at Bobby Joe's farm or whatever."
Yeah.
like
assume
I think
if they're thinking it's giants or whatever, that they'd be coming out of the mountains, so it'd likely
Yeah.
be on the northern edge.
Or honestly,
but-
it could be the same undead that we were dealing with earlier.
Possibly.
Could be. You'd have to take a look at the body and see like what's going on. Like they're
Yeah.
dead,
So
but are
I
they
mean,
torn
we need-
apart? Are they crushed? Are they eaten? Like what's going on?
We need to talk to the farmers anyway, but more to the point, with Robin going up and investigating, I guess, like, I don't want to stomp on what your character is good at doing. So you going and investigating does make sense. I just don't think Erica would be okay with you trying to go into that fort. Because
All right, okay.
we
So
know that's gonna be bad.
fair
news.
enough. So counterpoint. Every time Robin does something alone, like I'm not gonna say every time. I'm gonna say like 70% of the time, we should all be there. So we should just all go to the fort right now
Mhm.
and just deal with the problem. Because Robin's gonna get there, he's gonna find a problem. He's gonna come back and report it. Okay?
And
It's
then we're
be
gonna have to
like
go
midnight.
anyways.
You're gonna have to go
Yeah.
anyway.
Oh,
So
Yeah,
we should
that's
just
fair.
all go to the fort right now and find corpses of animals on the way.
Yeah,
I mean,
all right.
that's what I was gonna say. Is we
That's-
can
I-
all go to the port now.
Yeah.
Robin
That
will
sounds
just
like
get
a
there
great
first.
idea.
Comfortable Robin running and getting there by himself, but I'm
Yeah,
completely
I-
comfortable with all of us.
Like if
Yeah.
Robin gets there first, that's fine because you guys are right behind him, and then he
Yeah.
can just meet you guys back on the road. So that's probably the way to do it.
I'll
Agreed.
go and now,
Let's
did we
do
want
it.
to? Okay, let's.
Did we want to talk to anyone else in town before we leave?
Not in town. We need
No.
to talk to the farmers.
I mean, we can hit them on the way up.
Yeah, exactly.
But I meant like there was the dude at the docks. But I
Was it Jacob?
suppose if we're going directly there, it doesn't matter. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just an FYI so that you guys know for future reference, the ferry works within Clay Bottom Lake. So it gets you essentially across here, here, or here essentially. It's
Is
just
it like a cable ferry, or is it just
no,
like
no,
a
no.
free-roaming
It's
boat?
it's a free roaming boat, but the service takes you to like the Shimmering Glens, sorry, the Shimmer Glens, or all the way down to Pendaka. Yeah, Pendaka. which is
Awesome.
not a city. It's like a hamlet at best, like five houses sort of place.
Like a little outpost town or something.
Yeah,
thing.
it's
They're
it's
trying.
yeah, it's like a subsidiary of Turtleback Ferry. It's essentially like we're taking if they're taking a ship down to Ilsurian, they'll have some supplies in Pendaka, or they'll take things to Pendaka and then load them onto the ship at Pendaka. First,
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, if no one else has stuff to do in the town, I'm game.
Yeah, let's lay
Just
it.
showing up at midnight is gonna be a little weird, and I'm not sure we want to rest in the fort. So we may want to stop and rest on the way up rather than rest at the fort. 'Cause I
Well,
feel
So
like that's a-
again, Robin will get there first. He'll
Yes.
figure out the situation. He'll come back to you guys on the road because you won't have made it there yet, and he'll tell you, we can sleep there or we can't sleep there.
assuming
Well,
your assuming your sense motive check is good enough to spot the fact if they're being mind controlled or not.
Well, there
I
are
mean, I
other
think-
ways to determine that, but
But I think that we shouldn't approach the fort until we hear back from Robin.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
That way we can just sleep out in the wilderness if we need to.
Okay.
Um,
No,
We've
that sounds
done
good
it
to me.
before.
There is also a river crossing. I should note, looking at the road, so
Yep.
that's going to be
it's likely a
hazardous.
bridge. I would hope so, at least.
Well, assuming the bridge hasn't been flooded out, but yeah.
Well, I would assume it's a large bridge that's large enough to move forces between the fort and the town.
That's fair. Yeah,
Alright,
it'll probably
so-
have to be stone.
Yep.
Yeah,
So you
sounds
guys-
like we're headed up.
all right, so
Yep,
you guys are
Robin's gonna
heading.
just Robin bolts northwest out of the town. It's like,
Be
yep,
safe.
got
And the rest of the party is gonna try and somewhat keep up with him. Are you guys going on foot, on horseback? What's the situation there?
How are the horses?
think we're
'Cause
gonna take-
we just got out.
You
right?
just got here, but the horses did get a rest last night, so they are okay
Mhm.
to keep going.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
take horses.
Yay, horses.
Yeah, I would say horses. Yeah, and do we just to confirm what we're doing? Do we still want to stop and check in with the farmers, or just
Yeah, just to get.
give up on that?
Yeah.
So, we need to stop to get some at least quick locations of.
Yeah.
Where they saw the attacks? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Maybe see if we can get a map of the local area.
I mean, the mayor would have been the one to ask for that, but maybe the tavern keep has something because we got to go back there anyway.
A map of what?
The local area.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So you guys head on back to the tavern / inn to get your horses. Check out some of your equipment just in case you might need it. And as you're like on your way out, probably with your backpacks on back, the lady at the tavern said, "Are you guys checking out?"
Hold the rooms for us. We may need them. We're just going for we've got some business at the fort, and we'll be back. But we plan on staying in the rooms eventually.
Right. I'm gonna need some form of.
Do you need a deposit?
Didn't we?
It's
pay
not
for
a
that?
deposit. It's
Yeah.
a token of
We did pay.
trust. Did you? No, you guys didn't pay ahead of time. They said you could
Yeah.
check
Yeah,
out.
we did.
No, we did.
Yeah,
But we
Chris
meant
Warren, we
to.
literally paid.
Yeah, we did.
It was like, oh, we're gonna be here for like, like
5 days. We
Yeah.
paid for 5 days.
Oh
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no,
we did.
no, guys, you're confusing Friday game. We paid for it ahead of time on Friday game.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
pretty
we
sure we
also
didn't pay
paid-
anything.
I could have sworn we paid at this. one
No,
as well.
because they
We
told you
said-
you
We
could.
did.
They told you could figure
fine.
out the payment on your way out.
You're right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. No,
Yep.
that sounds right.
Mhm.
We have no
Anyway,
payment. then.
So
So
let's
do
uh,
5 days. And
well, I mean, if we haven't paid yet, we can also just say that we'll actually take the
Oh,
rooms when
yeah.
we get back.
perfect. So we'll just pay for now then. Yes.
Well,
So
we didn't use the room technically. We went up there, talked, came back down, and
You would still need to pay for the room, though.
yeah,
The-
we'll pay
Okay.
for yeah.
I'm just gonna give her 5 gold pieces.
Okay. That's way more than you're supposed to pay for a single day. Are you
It's a deposit.
deposit?
we'll be staying for a few days. Just hold if you can hold the rooms for us, and if
Sure,
the
I
rain
can-
keeps up, we're probably gonna want a hot meal when we get back.
All right. I can hold the rooms for the rest of the month with this.
No need.
Yeah.
Silera is a generous soul.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
good luck and come back soon.
Thank you.
Hopefully, we will be.
And then you guys come back and you pick up whatever you.
Oh,
don't
and do
need
you
to
have a
pay for,
map
pretty
of the
much.
area?
Yeah.
Map. I think the
We
only
have
one
yours.
No, we don't have a map. The only. Well, how accurate do you need it to be?
Landmarks and
Not that accurate.
roads.
Yeah,
That's a
we're
good
walking
idea
out the
to
door
help.
now. If whatever you
Sure.
can give us would be great.
I can do something quickly for you. And she sort of hold on a second, and she runs back into the kitchen and comes back with a piece of charcoal and grabs a parchment paper, puts it on the table, and she does a couple of squiggly lines, and it. I mean, you can tell sort of like this is a line for the rivers. There's the shape of the lake, and she sort of does a squiggly line, marks it Crigwood, marks the other one Ashwood, and then she sort of does another squiggly line and draws an arrow from there towards the northeast, and from there to the northwest, and marks the one on the east, Wyvern Mountains, the other one, Hook Mountain. And this is about like from here to Fort Rannoch. I think it's like 15 miles. So, I mean, if that works, and she sort of passes a very, very rudimentary map to you guys. The only
Any major things that we should know about the route? We talked to the mayor, and he mentioned the flooding, but
right.
we're not from the area.
Nobody really goes north. The only people that use that road are the Black Arrows. They're the people who work at, who man the Fort Rannoch. It's a pretty rough road from what I've heard. Just stay away from the river. Especially with this kind of rain, you might get some boulders coming down from upriver. Aside from that, keep an eye out when you go into the Creekwood. From time to time, the Black Arrows do go into it to thin out any kind of ogres that might have made it down the mountain, but there are still some out there.
Okay. Well, we appreciate the heads up on that. We'll keep our eyes open.
Okay. Well,
Thanks. Bye.
Best of
Grigori,
luck.
is this a good enough map for you to?
Expand
Yeah.
upon.
That should be fine.
Can I roll something on black arrows? Is that something we would have heard of?
sure. Erica, you don't need to roll. The Black Arrows are a faction of quote-unquote knights, rangers, but it's more like if you commit a crime in Magnimarian land, harsh enough that you would be close to being executed for it.
It's the fucking Knights on the Wall.
It's the Night's Watch. It's
It's
yeah,
the Night's Watch.
Oh,
It's the original
Jesus
Night's
fucking
Watch.
Yeah, it's
Christ.
entirely what it is.
Amazing.
They
If
fight
you,
giants
this is
though. The
good.
giants are real.
yeah.
This is going to be a giant gong, a gong show of giant fighters that were criminals. Great. This is going to go super well for the paladin.
Did you just say a dong show?
Yeah,
Dong
that's what I
show.
heard too. Giant dong show.
Giant donkey.
Well, that's if we fight
I guess
giants.
Rory knows where he's going.
Yep. Yeah, essentially the Black Arrows are the Knights of the Watch, but it's not just criminals that are sent there. Sometimes bastards are sent there, which is also the Knights of the Watch.
I was going to say, you're not saying anything
No
different.
shit, you don't say I'm saying.
There's this one guy, the leader. He actually has a wolf. Crazy.
Well, I mean, if they're rangers,
Oh my
there's a good
God.
chance that one of them has a wolf.
The worst part is now that I
They
think
will
about
now.
one of them does have a
Yeah.
My
guess they all-
God.
Is the person in charge the Lord Commander?
It is the commander.
are
but
now.
I don't think it's Lord Commander. In any case,
They're being called that now.
yep. Some people can't believe I didn't draw the level of parallelism between them.
Because there's a
ran
giant
it-
fucking wall. There are giants on the other side.
Yeah.
Yep.
I ran into this group of adventurers, and they were just assholes. They just kept calling me Jon Snow, and it's like, it's
You know
not
nothing,
my name.
Commander.
So,
Then they'd laugh.
Guys, right. So, the Black Coats. Some nobles do sort of take into exile and go sort of recluse themselves to Foranic. Not necessarily because they are like exiles by law, but rather by choice. So sometimes you will, yeah. Sometimes some people go to Foranic by choice.
Cool. That's
Yeah,
exciting for them.
so
Like us.
on the way, I guess, if Erica knows this, she would just knowledge dump this to the others so that they all know what we're getting into. It's not exactly the most knightly of knightly orders, but I mean, they kill giants, so they're doing the job at least.
One of you probably think that Robin will fit right in.
And as you might have deduced already a bit, Fort Rannick is the sort of it's the bastion for the Black Arrows, but also it is the sort of last line of defense or the first line of defense against any kind of giant incursion into Magmar. So anything that comes from the north ends up being stopped here at Fort Rannick.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So it would be very bad if that was taken over by an evil lady.
Yes. But you can talk about that on the road as you guys are heading towards Fort Rannick. You do see about like an hour out from town. You're coming close to. You can already see the stone bridge ahead. You do see that there is a somewhat far away. It's like a good like 300-400 feet away from you guys. You do see a house, a 2-story house that has all the farmland around it. So if you wanted to take a detour, you could go to that house to ask about the animals, or you can keep going and take the stone bridge across the river.
Let's try to be quick.
Yep.
Good shit.
Sailor, you want to do the talking and
Sure.
have us stand behind?
Robin, you're just sprinting ahead of the party, correct?
He is double moving because in double moving he ignores difficult terrain and doesn't leave any tracks.
Okay, so you're not quite
Yep.
running. You're just slower than full sprint, but you're still
Yep.
quite quickly moving through the land. I will say, no, never mind. You keep running like a machine, never getting tired.
Yep.
Because you're immune to fatigue and exhaustion.
Sure am.
You come to the stone bridge, and as you're there, you can tell like the bridge is quite stable. At least it looks quite stable. It's not full stone bridge. It has a structure made out of stone, and then it has wooden beams running across it, sort of making the path itself. And it stands right now. It stands to about 3 feet above the water. Like the water level is encroaching a little bit on the shore, but it's still quite a bit before it sort of touches the land.
And the current is strong.
The current currently is moderate. Like you can throw a rock and you can see it as soon as it touches. It starts to go with the flow, but it does. You can actually see it touch the ground. Right? It's not a current so strong that you see the white streaks.
Gotcha. All right. Cool.
You keep going then?
Yep. Yeah. He'll.
Right.
I mean, the bridge looks sturdy enough, so he'll just cross it normally.
Yeah.
I don't
okay.
see her unless there's a troll under it or something. I don't know.
Go ahead and give me a perception check. Not for
My
the
other
bridge.
thing told me about trolls under bridges, so I figured I may as well just take a look.
Sure. You take a peek under the bridge. It doesn't look like it. There's
good.
just water running underneath it.
No troll toll. Good.
Yeah. You do hear like through the river. You do hear the of stones being and pebbles being rushed by the water, sort of pushed and dragged, which is normal, but it does alert you to the fact that it is a moderate current. You continue going across the bridge and into the forest beyond. And on a perception, keep it. Are you trying to stay hidden as you go into the other side of the river, like as you go through the forest?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to draw any unwanted attention, and I'm intentionally not leaving any tracks. So, you know, I'd use cover, but I would still be double moving. So
yeah, so you're probably like going close to the walls whenever there's a cliff.
Yeah,
or
I
close
think it's
to
like a
trees or
minus.
bushes.
Yeah, I think it's like a -5 to stealth if you're not moving half speed.
Minus 10,
Something like
but
that.
minus 10. But go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Is it a -10? Okay.
Yeah, it is a
I'll
minus 10. It's
double check.
It's pretty harsh for not moving at half speed.
No, it's a -5 penalty.
Yeah, I thought it was -5.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's running.
Moving
That's
at
a
speed,
minus 10.
yeah, greater than running is. I don't think you can stealth at all
Yeah.
while running.
All right then. Yeah, as you're sort of running, you sort of in your effort to not leave any tracks behind, you sort of jump over some bushes, and you do sort of crack or land a little bit too harshly on a branch, and it sort of cracks.
I can't actually. Because of my light steps, I literally
That is
don't
a good
affect the
point.
ground underneath my feet.
Then, as you jump forward, you touch a branch on a tree and it breaks. Just because
Okay, that's fair.
your stealth was quite poor in terms of the speed
Yeah.
that you're moving at. You do sort of hear it, you catch it before it lands, but you do hear the crack of the branch. You hold still for a second, nothing happens, and as you start to sprint again, you do hear off in the distance like a call of a pained cat. Sounds like it.
The prayer mentioned something about like fire jaguars or fucking lynxes. I don't fucking know. I can't remember. I'm just gonna
cougars.
fire cougars. That's the one.
Fire
So I mean, Robin will investigate
sure.
because you know animals don't set traps like that unless they're like stupid intelligent. Now I don't know what the fuck a fire cougar is, but
Or unless it's an animal companion of something.
It is a
yeah.
the thing that the prayer mentioned is a fire pelt cougar, and
Yes.
not only do you know what a fire pelt cougar is, you have seen a fire pelt cougar before in this campaign.
We fought one very early on around
Very
Sandpoint.
early on, yes, when you were in Sandpoint.
Oh, okay. Oh, one of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Thistlewood.
Yeah, and this is a wood.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, you sort of start to move closer to the source of the sound. Go ahead and give me one more stealth check, because I'm guessing you're trying not to make yourself.
Yeah, and this time I will move half speed, and you know I'll attach to trees and shit as I go, so that I can end movement and like hide and stuff like that.
Sure.
So yeah,
Right, yeah.
there you
You
go.
sort of become a shadow amongst the trees. And eventually you do hear the sound sort of stops, but you have somewhat pinpointed the origin. And as you move closer and closer, sort of inching forward, you do see that there's a hidden in a bush is the sort of oil black skin, fur of a fire pelt cougar with their sort of identifying fiery orange stripes towards the back and their tail. And they seem to be sort of hidden inside of a bush. You can only see like their left side and part of their torso sort of poking out.
Okay. Yeah. Robin is just gonna do nothing for a single round, so his stealth is gonna go up by 3. So it's gonna be a 30 now.
Sure.
And he's just gonna see what's going on because he's not sure if that cougar is like hunting, or it's been trapped, or it's injured, or something like that. So he's just gonna try and figure out like what the fuck is going on first,
Sure.
and then he's gonna be on his way.
Okay. So you're trying to sort of inch closer, or are you just waiting in place?
Just waiting in place because if he takes no actions for a single round,
Okay.
so he's basically just like clinging to the tree, and he's getting a +3 insight to his stealth.
Okay.
So it's a 30.
Sure. So you're sort of completely hidden as you got your body pressed up against the tree, up in the heights of it. It doesn't look like the cougar is moving. You do see their head sort of turn to the sides. They poke their head out for a second. You see their ears twitching as they're trying to catch some sound. And a moment later, you do hear like a howl, but not from a wolf, more like a dog from the sounds of it. And the creature does sound like quite livid.
Livid?
Yeah, it sounds like aggressive.
The dog?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so Robin is probably like, oh, there's probably something hunting this thing. And like, I don't really know what the fuck is going on. This is not my shit. So, I mean, if they're hunting it, they're hunting it. So this isn't my problem. As much as I'd love to save this cat, it'll probably try and eat me while I do so. So I'm just gonna kind of get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
And
Just
I'm just
to-
gonna
yeah, as-
slowly dip.
Yeah, as you're sort of starting to get ready to jump off, you do see the cougar sort of starts to stand up and move out of the bush. And as it does, it's sort of you do see it walking, and it's sort of walking limping, and you do see that it's dragging its hind leg with a bear trap caught around its leg, and it's sort of dragging it across the ground.
Yeah. Somebody's definitely hunting it. Probably best to not piss them off as much as I would like to help this thing. It's not mine. So yeah, Robin's just gonna be like, well, that's a shame.
All right.
Off the top of his head, does he know if they're endangered or anything?
No.
Like, would they be breaking the law hunting it? No. It's just like,
no. It's just an animal that is actually quite common to the region.
yeah, no. Robin will just be like, yeah, you know, it happens. So Robin's just gonna leave.
Okay.
I would help, but it's not my problem. I've got
Okay,
more
yeah,
important shit to do.
You hop off. You start to dash away, going back to the road that you diverted from. Yeah. And you continue off northwards. Rest of the party, you guys arrived at the bridge. You saw that the stone structure is quite sturdy. And the
I thought we were
wooden
going to the
beams-
farmhouse.
Oh, I
It's
thought
along
you guys.
the way.
I thought you guys said you wanted to make speed, so you were heading to the bridge.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were being quick at the farmhouse.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah, that's
then,
what I thought too. Is try to make it as
Okay.
quick as possible.
Then you guys sort of head towards the house. The distance from the point that you were at towards the bridge and towards the house was about the same. So you guys sort of go towards the house, and I'm guessing Erica, you're sort of gonna. Are you the one that's sort of heading towards the door to knock or anything?
I think
I'll head towards the door.
Silera's taking the lead on this one.
Okay, yeah. Then
But the rest
Solera,
of us are following her up.
yeah. Then Solera, you go up to the door and knock on the door. You hear from inside somebody going, "Who is it?" Well, we're not expecting anyone, so what do you need?
We were sent here by the mayor regarding some animal remains that were found. Trying to help make sure that animals in the area are safe.
You hear the door unlock and open up. And, you should have said that earlier. You're here about the carcasses then.
Yes, I am.
Alright, so we found some horses. My poor old Bessie got eaten up earlier the week. Poor
Oh.
Bessie.
Oh no.
Horse.
Ah, you got a problem with Bessie for a horse? I've been called out for it.
No. I mean, a whole horse got eaten. That's a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a great loss.
Sorry, out of character. I'm just dying with this accent. I love it so much. Okay, sorry.
Redneck.
Oh. I've never had to do that kind of accent before, and I love that I can do it.
It's
Anyway.
so good. It's so good.
Anyway, right, so, you're gonna do something about it or no?
Yeah, if you can show me where it's located, and we can take a look to see what kind of clues that we can get from it, and some tracking maybe, and we can figure out where it's coming from and eliminate the beast that did it.
Sure thing. Okay. Let me just grab a coat for myself, and we can get going. Like they grab a tarp from around behind the door, throw it over their heads, and they grab a pitchfork with them, and they gesture for you guys to follow them.
Can I sense motive that real quick?
Sure.
Erica's not going to bother with the sense motive. He's just going to be like, sir, we would prefer if we were left to hunt the beast. There's potential it could be something a little larger than a bear.
No, I just wanted him to show where it was at so that we could go from there. That's why he's showing us.
No, I know, but he's bringing a pitchfork.
He's bringing a
We're gonna
pitchfork.
hunt it with us.
I'm fine
Listen,
if he comes.
Do not question this man.
Let the man do what he wants.
Yeah, don't question
We're
this
this
man.
man.
I
This
gotta-
man's home.
Look, I'm in my property, and I have my right to bring a pitchfork with myself. So you're gonna shut up and follow me. And they sort of start leading you away from the house. Leading
And I'm just gonna
mush-
whisper over to Erica, just stop talking.
Yep.
So they lead you across the fields, and sure enough, you do see a part of where the crops end. Like you're going through fields of wheat, and where the wheat sort of dies out, and you start to see some rough patches. And there's the wooden fence that sort of marks the end of the terrain, the property, and you do see that portion of the fence has been broken down and still lies in shambles. And there's a clear spot, even with all this rain, there's a clear spot where there's like the dirt has turned a much darker color, but the carcass is nowhere to be found. All right, so how's where poor Bessie was? Had to take her down to storage. Poor thing. And they sort of lay their weight on their pitchfork as they sort of gesture for you guys to look at it.
I'm just gonna say, Grigori, can you? You're good at tracking and stuff. Do you know what this discoloration in the ground? Is that normal or is?
I think that's blood, Taylor.
I mean, Grigori, if you wanna,
I will take a look.
yeah, Grigori, give me a survival check.
Sigus will take a look. Oh no, to see if it's.
Do you
Blood or
want
any
us to try and aid you on that, like poking around, Grigori?
You're more than welcome to.
I'll try. Yeah. No,
Nope.
going to help.
Erica, you're not certain what could have caused this. It must have been some kind of large animal if it was able to
break down
the
the
fence, because it does look like a sturdy fence. Grigori, as you're sort of looking around, you do spot that the mud does have, like, it's not tracks. It almost looks like somebody dragged either a portion of the animal or a log through here. Like there's a crevice like carved into the ground. And as you and Erica sort of get closer to the fence to look at it, what Erica at first sees as an impact on the post, Grigori, as you get a little bit closer and analyze it a little bit further, it actually looks like somebody hit it with a blunt object. It's not just an animal crashed into it. It looks more like a stone hit it.
Like, is that like a boulder?
Like a boulder
Thrown
or a
by
hammer
something
or
very
a maul.
Yeah.
A weapon or
Yeah.
a tool, not a
Not a
piece
paw.
of not a paw or a claw.
Got it. But there's no trace of the actual horse or like remains.
He took the horse inside.
Yeah, Grigori, you would be able to see that there's like a little bit of a trail of blood leading away from the crime scene, but it does stop a couple steps over the fence, most likely washed away by all the rain.
Would I be able to identify any of the track?
Sure, give me.
The claw marks, like what do we?
No, it looks like
there's the
footprints.
big blunt impact.
It looks like footprints, like boot prints, quite big. Like we're talking like something like it would be normal for a human if the human was like 8 or 9 feet tall.
It's
It's a giant.
some sort of
Or something
giant-like
very big.
creature.
Yeah, so a large humanoid creature, like these.
And
But-
could Sigus just quickly see the horse, or is that the time for that has passed?
You would have to go all the way back to the
Okay,
house.
yeah, we're not doing that.
You're like from where you guys are, you can see the bridge to sort of your left. You've sort of come all the way over almost to the bridge.
All the way,
Grigori?
ogre.
Ogre, yes.
Large
Grigori,
humanoid
what do you-
creature.
What do you think we got here?
My guess would be a giant or an ogre. I feel like it's too small for a giant, but it depends on the variation. I know that there are some giants that are much larger than others, but this is definitely a bipedal creature of large proportions.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe
Alright.
we should go talk to the Black Arrows at the fort about this.
Yeah, we should at least report to them that something got by.
Casual.
Yeah.
You lot better avenge my Bezzy, all right?
Oh, we will.
She will be avenged. We don't like letting giants torture us smaller peoples.
These monsters will not live the week.
Well, darn.
Right?
Right. He sort of looks around, gives you all a nod. All right. Well, I'm gonna head back to my house if that's all right with you.
Yep. We'll report back when we have a little bit more information,
Yeah. And they
or
sort of-
hopefully once they're dead.
Preferably once they're dead.
well, gotta be hoping for the latter one. And they start heading back towards the house. They sort of turn their head a little bit towards the ground as they pull their coat, their tarp over their head a little bit further. And you can watch them as they head away.
Oh, actually, did we notice a tattoo on Mr. Man?
Give
I
me a
don't know,
perception check.
Since we're here anyway.
Yeah, give me a quick perception check. Now?
No.
No.
Didn't think so.
Grigori, you're pretty certain that he doesn't have one. He didn't have a coat when he opened the door, and he was like rather poorly dressed for the cold that it is as cold as it is lately. They were just in a shirt and some loose pants, and from the looks of it, they didn't have a tattoo on them.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's head to the fort.
Yeah. You guys will then now probably arrive at the bridge. Looks pretty sturdy, but once again, water is running through the river quite quickly. A moderately strong current. You guys sort of cross the bridge. Looks pretty stable. It's pretty sturdy. Keep an eye out just in case, and like doesn't seem like anything particularly dangerous is going on. But once you get on the other side and you start going into the forest, about like 5 minutes, 10 minutes almost into your walk, you do hear once again off in the distance, as it happened with Robin, you do hear a call of a cat
Rory,
in
what?
pain.
What in the world's making that sound?
Can I roll to check to see if I know what nature
Yeah,
sounds?
knowledge in nature.
I mean, technically, I could also try and roll it.
Got a 10. Easy clap.
Nice.
Oh, right. Grigori, the ranger that doesn't have knowledge in nature.
I forgot that you didn't have knowledge in nature. Tyler, you want to give us a shot?
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
not one.
You guys,
Yeah.
you guys have
We have no
no
idea.
clue what this is. It sounds like an animal, sounds like a cat, a large cat, but that's about as far as you get. Your best guess is that it might be a fire-pelt cougar, just because it's the most common large cat in the region.
I'm just gonna whisper as quietly as possible while if you can still hear me because of the storm, that we should probably just keep going and just keep our eyes peeled for anything that may come after us, but probably shouldn't worry about what's in there right now.
I agree.
I mean, cats. I mean,
In
yeah,
product
it
I don't-
sounds like a unhappy cat, but it's not really our concern right now.
Yeah, we have to catch up to Robin, but we do not need to concern ourselves with the wildlife.
Unless it concerns itself with us.
As you guys continue then on your way, like not a minute goes by and you once again hear the, and it sounds a little bit further away because you're moving away from the source, but it does sound like it's like still going. And then after a couple seconds, you do hear the, as what now sounds like a pack of dogs seems to be running through the forest.
I guess someone's doing hunting. I guess is that hunting? Do you use a pack of dogs when you hunt? I don't know.
It is likely just the wildlife attacking each other. Just don't worry about it.
Yeah. In that case, you guys sort of continue, perhaps with your heads a little bit lower, so that you don't get spotted by the wildlife. Robin,
Yep.
by now you've arrived at the foot of the mountain, and you're sort of scaling. Well, not scaling, but like going up the winding path up the mountainside. It looks like it's gonna be a long while until you get to the fort. You do see like the mountain is very, very steep as you're moving forward. This isn't like you aren't like scaling, but it's the type of path where it's like winds up on itself, like a back and. It's hard. Like it almost looks like it's been carved into the side of the mountain in order to have any
It's a
kind of footing.
switchback.
Yeah, so Robin will just go in a straight line and keep going at the same pace because he can walk on walls.
Yeah, you just like walk upwards instead of back and forth, cutting your entire walk time for this portion of the mountain by about a third, or sorry, down to a third, as you walk up the steps of the mountain. And sure enough, you reach the plateau, and off in the distance you can see carved into like a corner of the valley of the mountain, not the valley, the plateau, and where the mountain sort of goes into its next step of height. You do see a building that stretches upward, and there is a massive waterfall next to it. It's like hard to see because it's pretty late already. Like it's kind of dark, but you can see lights coming from inside of it and some on the walls around it, illuminating the area around. So you can sort of see it off in the distance. You can tell like there's a little bit of forest still between you and the fort, but you can see the fort off. Like you're a good like still a mile away, and you can see the lights coming from it.
All right. Yeah. No. Robin has no reason to stop at this point, so he'll just mosey.
Okay, give me a stealth check as you're getting closer to Fort Rennick then.
Sure. Doop-a-doop.
You sort of are moving closer, and you probably slow down as you're getting close enough to the fort that you can see the silhouette of the wall itself. The top layer, like the crown of the wall, is being illuminated by torches. And give me a perception check.
Okay. Natty 20,
damn.
boy.
You do see like someone is standing on top of the wall, and they're sort of moving the torch around, trying to see what's going on at their feet from the looks of it. And as they do, they sort of lower their head, and it is when they lower their head that you can tell their proportion on that person is way out of whack. They are probably 9 foot tall. Their arms are massively muscular, and their head is almost shrunken down to the size of a child in comparison to their body.
Well, that's not fucking normal.
Yeah, you can immediately tell that they are not human. Your best guess is ogre from the looks of it. Go ahead and give me a knowledge local.
Oh, fucking the
Alright.
giants took over the fort. That's what she was doing.
Yeah, that looks like an ogre. Straight up an ogre. And from the looks of it, as they sort of look around, you can't quite make out the words, but you do hear them talking in giant. You do catch tasty morsel, you stupid, come over here, and like a few other words, sort of sprinkled about through the storm. But you can tell like there's at least 1 or 2 more ogres nearby that they're talking to.
Alrighty then. Well, I'm just gonna not fuck with that right now.
In fact, with that perception check, as you sort of start to move back, you sort of look to your side because you catch a little bit of a whiff of smell. Like it does start to smell a little bit more foul now that you're a little bit close to Fort Rennick. And as you try to make out where the smell is coming from, you sort of look around and you hear a as you look to your side and you see that at the foot of a tree is a very small murder of crows, sort of perched on a broken down body of a armored humanoid, and they're sort of pecking at the food, the carrion, and one of the crows has turned to look at you and go, trying to spook you away from their food.
Robin sort of just like looks at the crow, then like looks away and is like, all right, I'm not gonna fuck with your shit. Just calm the fuck down.
You see them, they sort of stop going and go back to pecking away at the flesh.
All right, so the black arrows are fucked. Gotcha. All right. Well, I would say that I've done my scouting. Back to the team I go.
Give me a 1d100. Just a random 1d100 roll.
Oh.
So 20.
Yeah, okay.
It's an even number. I like
Yeah.
it.
Nat 20, easy clap.
Yeah, it's a natural 20. Fuck y'all.
As you're moving away from the fort, you do see a flash of light as a lightning strikes off in the distance. And you sort of instinctively crouch down to avoid being spotted now that there's like a sudden bright light illuminating you. And you do see like all around you on the fields around the Fort Rennick is the very clear for like that brief moment that the sky is illuminated. You do see the silhouettes of a good 24 men crushed on the ground. The signs of battle. You do see an ogre dead, sort of bulging amongst them, and you can't quite make out what happened or how much destruction has been going on before the flash subsides and you are back in darkness.
Okay. All right. I can't really see much at all. The closest corpse that isn't being pecked at, I would assume that the crows are probably going at the ogre just because it's bigger.
No, they were going at the humanoid that was sort of left further from the battlefield, from the looks of it, and was sort of their back lying against a tree, and their bodies sort of being pecked at by crows.
Okay. Well, away from the crows, Robin will, go to the body closest to him because he's sort of vaguely aware of where it is.
Yeah.
And there's probably like enough light that he can see. It's just dim.
It is currently midnight during a storm. It is just pitch fucking darkness. You can just barely see like 5 feet in front of you.
All right. Well, he's still gonna just feel his way over to the body because he can kind of just stick his foot out and kick it. And when he kicks it, he's like, okay, it's right here. And then he'll just like bend down and he'll sort of like fleece the corpse to see if like there's any indication that this is actually the Black Arrow squad or if it's something else.
You're sort of patting them down, trying to find something. They have a sword on them. They have a longbow on them. There's some arrows and a quiver by the leg. You sort of pat their chest. You do find that there's some kind of badge on their chest, like a circular coin shaped badge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'll take that.
Okay.
He'll be like, this could be useful.
Rip it off.
Yep. Be like, all right.
You do hear the sounds of a metal gate sort of being lifted, and followed by the thump, 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 as from the sounds of it, 2 very large bodies are moving in your general direction, sort of out of the fort.
All right. Well, Robin's gonna pat the dead guy on the shoulder and be like, "All right, I'm gonna come back with reinforcements, and we're gonna do that whole vengeance thing. Peace." And he's just gonna like half speed move away, not affecting the ground or leaving tracks or anything, and just get the fuck right out of there.
Robin, do you speak? You do speak Giant, right?
He does speak Giant, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Because I remember you speaking Giant. I gave you a piece of information, but I wasn't certain. Yeah, you do hear off as you're sort of running away. You do hear the I told you it's tasty food. Shut up. As you hear the 2 ogres talking behind you, moving closer to the battlefield. But yeah,
Robin like whispers to himself like, "Did that motherfucker see me? The fuck?" Shit. All right.
You're not certain if they saw you, but you move away from there. And it is like about an hour later, and it's already like 1 a.m. When the 2 sides of the party sort of meet back together, halfway down or halfway up, depending on which side you're on, the path up the mountain. And you guys would sort of run into each other because they probably Erica, Salera, Sigis, and Grigori, a lot of you need some light in order to move.
Yeah, I was gonna say we need lights for the horses.
Yeah. Yep.
And you at this point you would have to dismount your horses to go up the path because it is quite treacherous. But as you're sort of walking, you would be immediately spotted by Robin.
So, hey guys. Yeah.
Back so soon?
Oh yeah. We got a couple friendly neighbors up there. So good news. I know what the problem is.
Okay.
Bad news. I'm pretty sure the entirety of the Black Arrow is dead.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
they could have
no.
what? Wait, what?
Yeah, so the fort's been taken over by ogres.
That would explain what we found with the farmer.
Yep.
We stopped in at one of the farms. Grigori did his thing, and some giant humanoid attacked and started killing things. But if the fort's overtaken by ogres, that certainly explains it.
Now, important thing to note. Ogres are pretty fucking stupid, right, guys?
Can I roll a knowledge?
Yeah,
local
can
on
I
that?
roll a knowledge?
No, I'm not. I'm not asking you to roll knowledges. I'm just asking you guys to answer.
It's a rhetorical
I-
question.
I would
You-
also-
It's a rhetorical
Gotcha.
question.
Yeah, I
You
would-
can
I
you
would
can
actually
roll a
like to
knowledge
roll
local if
knowledge
you want to.
anyway. Not, I would like to roll it on ogres
They
in
secretly
general, but
have
yes.
32 intelligence, but they're just
I'm pretty
very
sure
good
they're
at playing
dumb
it
as a
off.
rock.
They are dumb as a rock.
Okay, so they don't know how to hunt with dogs, right?
No, they're not that dumb.
I mean, they have basic society, from what I understand. Like they hit each other on the heads with clubs to tell who's in charge, but they could have a dog. Why?
What about traps?
I mean,
Possible.
if you can
Not
if you
very
can train a
good one.
dog, you can set up a
In
trap.
the-
They can hunt.
There's
in
animals
the
that
being
make traps, just an
that
FYI.
We'll likely be able to, make
Yeah.
traps. I mean, the spiders can make a trap, so I don't.
No, I mean like bear traps.
Why do you ask?
Well, on my way up, I noticed that there was a hunting party going after one of the cougars, and I'm not sure if that hunting party is Black Arrow, or if there are ogres behind us and in front of us.
Oh.
Is
That
it
would
with the
explain what that
dogs,
sound was.
What was that, Grigori?
I just heard dogs and cats, and I'm not sure if I didn't hear any large footfalls.
Did you see
not
the cat
likely.
or something, Robin?
Yeah, no, I saw the fire pelt cougar. It was caught in a bear trap.
Like a really big bear trap?
Grigori is gonna give Erica a little shove.
What?
I'm trying to talk here, and you keep interrupting me.
Okay.
I
Go
did
ahead.
not hear any large footfalls, so therefore I do not believe that it is an ogre hunting party. They are not known to be stealthy in any way.
That is very true. So we may have some allies behind us. It is super fucking late. Do you guys want to set up camp, and then I can go see if we can find the if I can find the Black Arrow, because I'm still rearing to go.
Yeah, how close are we to the fort?
It's way up at the top of the mountain.
Another
Like an
hour.
hour or
No,
two?
Yeah, an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like, well, if we think the fort's been taken, sorry.
Oh no, it has. Trust me. There's a
Okay.
field of corpses in front of it.
Ooh. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, like the only thing is it's like, do we want to try and sneak up and then like camp under a tiny hut or something near where we can see it, or do we want to camp further away?
Probably. Sorry.
Probably further
No, no,
away.
no.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Then I'm down to
No.
just camp and we can prepare spells and go in sneaky and then guns blazing, but
Sigus, can you do invisibility? Is that a thing you can do?
it's one of the things I can do. I can't, let me just,
Well, I was just thinking, I know myself, I'm not going to be able to get in there sneaky, right? So if we want to go in without drawing the attention of everyone inside the castle during the day, I'm going to need some assistance.
I can do that. I can definitely prep invisibility.
But yeah, I agree with you guys. I think probably camping down in the forest is probably the best course. We don't want to leave ourselves exposed on this trail.
Yeah, you guys get to that. I'm gonna go see if I can find the black arrow
Let it
in the forest.
if it
I'll
is
go with them.
if
Yeah.
it is an ogre, come back for us first.
Well, if it is just one, I probably can put it down pretty quickly.
Yeah, Robin just sort of looks between Erica and Grigori and is like, You say that like the ogre can actually get to us before it dies.
Yeah, that is a fair point. Well, I mean, if you run into issues, you know where we are.
Good luck. Holler if you need us.
Yep, will do.
You may see a
I will. We'll
fire
set
arrow
up a
going through the sky.
tiny hut
Mm-hmm.
over, slightly off from the road.
Okay, yeah.
We're going back down the road, down to the base. So
Yeah,
we got
so
to do
you-
that first.
The lot of you sort of move as a unit down to the root of the mountain. Set up a the lot of you who are staying behind set up a tiny hut. Robin and Gregoria, the two of you, sort of continue forward, oh,
Oh, and sorry, and I'll cast a blade of barrier on Robin before he leaves.
okay.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah, so the two of you sort of depart. You would be able to get to the point of the road that you had been hearing the sounds. It's pretty quiet now. You don't hear any cougar or any dogs. It's been about an hour since you came through here, Grigori.
Would I be able to like find like a rough area to see if I can find some tracks?
Sure, give me a survival check.
I also know exactly sort of where from the road I took off, so can I like aid, I guess?
It's pretty dark in here, and like on your way through, you weren't paying that much attention to exactly where it was, but you can give me a survival check.
Yeah, it's fucking somewhere over there, bud. Good
Yep.
luck.
Unlike Grigori, who can never get lost in the wilderness, you, my friend, can get turned around a little bit. You're not sure if you turn to the left on that tree, or maybe the tree over 10 trees to the left. Grigori, it takes you a bit, but you do find some tracks that do cross the road, like across it, from the riverside towards the Creekwood side. And it looks like it's a large set of humanoid footprints, and then what looks like a small pack of dogs.
Well, it seems that we were wrong about it not being an ogre.
Oh fuck, so it is an ogre.
Would you like to continue on, or would you like to go back to the party?
Can you tell what direction the tracks are going in? Are they going back to the fort or are they going somewhere else?
Do I know if they're going back towards the fort or into the forest?
They're heading towards the woods. You would have to follow the path a little bit more if you wanted to know whether they're veering towards the fort or not.
Currently, they're just going towards the woods, but if we follow it a little bit longer, we could be able to discern a direction specifically.
Okay, you stay on my 6. I'm gonna go ahead. Super fucking uber stealth mode, dude.
Okay. Robin, do you have a light source with you?
Nope, but I'm moving half speed, so I'm going real slow.
You're moving quarter speed because you're technically blind for movement as far as it goes across.
Fair enough.
Across the forest. Because currently you're under not only in a store at midnight, you're also under the canopy of a forest.
Actually, could I do could I prestidigitate a blue light and sort of like crouch down to the ground and just like shine it in front of me so it's like really dim, so it's enough that I can see?
I think precision gives you a candlelight.
Yeah, like really dim, like a dark blue, so that it's not super obvious.
Sure. I'll allow it. Yeah, you sort of put your hand down, and your hand itself works as a little bit of a hood for your body. And you're casting the light. The flame is sort of appearing on the palm of your hand. Not quite hot enough to burn your hand, but still casting a blue light on the ground so that you can see something.
Yeah.
Your legs are somewhat visible, but they are being sort of shine blue. It almost looks like a ghost. And you're sort of moving forward a little bit. Or you can see the light. You can't really tell where, like, the silhouette of Robin is just barely visible. It's hard to see him, but it's still, like,
I'd
noticeable
actually
that
probably
there's...
want to be really close to him.
Yeah, it is quite noticeable that there is a light in the forest, essentially.
I would honestly, I'm actually incredibly stealthy, so
Hell yeah, dude.
Glory would let you know that you are pretty visible.
All right. Well, you can see in the dark, right?
Yeah.
So if I pull any unwanted attention, you can get rid of it before it gets to me, right?
Most likely.
All right, sounds good enough to me. If I do hear anything, I will put it out because I can just close my hand to put it out super fast, right? So, it's gonna have to do because it's all I got.
Okay. Robin, give me another survival check then, because you're the one ahead. You need to sort of track the tracks. Okay. With a 15, it's hard because it is raining, but they're fresh enough that the mud is sort of helping you.
And they're giants.
And
there's
giants.
a pack of dogs.
Yeah.
So there's a lot.
There's quite a bit. It is helping you, but water is starting to fill in the footprints. In fact, the fact that you have a light makes it so that the footprints sort of shine as they reflect, as the water reflects the light. And you sort of are following the tracks, and it does look like it's veering westward, so away from the mountains. And I would say, like, you get to the point where you can see that there's a clearing across from the trees.
All right, so
and there are some lights.
Easier to see. It's easier to see in the clearing, though, right? Because
Yes.
there's no.
Yeah, you could put out your light, and you would be able to just barely see.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do that. I wait for Grigori to catch up.
Yeah. So you close your hand.
Probably say 20-ish feet of you.
Yeah. So you put out the light. Grigori, you sort of stand 15-ish, 20-ish feet away from Robin in a nearby tree. Put your sort of side to it. The two of you are quite protected from the clearing. And as you're sort of looking, you do see that there's a couple lights from what looks like a house in the clearing. And the tracks do cut through the forest and go into the clearing. At which point the grass has grown long and there's no muddy footprints. It just like vanishes into the grass. You can tell it has been somewhat disturbed, but it's hard to see where they're going. Safe to assume that they went towards the house.
All right, so that house looks like it can fit one ogre.
It's actually quite a large house.
Oh, it's more like a barn?
As you sort of look around, you do see that there's like the silhouette of a barn in front of the house, like across a short distance. And there's some like a small patch of cranes. You would have to get close to tell what kind, but there's like that sort of very, very long grass-looking thing in the darkness.
All right. What do you think, Grigori?
I mean, I say we keep going, but I'll let any kind of investigation into the house. I'll let you do that, and I'll just stay back, just to make sure that if you get into trouble, that you can get outside. And once you're outside, we can deal with them without too much issue, I would guess.
I believe that is very true, my friend. All right. All right, time to go all commando. And Robin's just going to rub his gloves together, and he's just going to kind of like go down on the ground and just like fucking army crawl through this tall grass. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, so you
go time.
Crouch down, go full commando, and just as you're about to emerge from the grass, you hear a door open up and boom, boom. You can see the side and the back of a large humanoid. It looks a little bit smaller than the ogres you saw at the fort, but it's still fucking massive. They are not looking in your direction, however. They are sort of walking away from the house, and it looks like they're going over to the barn.
Okay. Well, if they're not looking at me, are there any lights on in the house right now?
Yeah, there is a. You would be able to see that there is a living room being lit by a fireplace.
How far away from the ogre am I?
From the ogre, they are now in dim light, but 100 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Robin's probably the halfway point between the house and Grigori.
Robin, you are standing like 40 feet. Yeah, 40 feet, 40, 45ish away from the organ, and the organ is like moving in your general direction, but away from you and towards the barn, because like the field sort of grows towards the barn.
Yeah.
So he's sort of moving towards the barn, so it's close to you.
I would start my way into the grass now, being as stealthy as possible, obviously.
Okay.
Hell yeah, my dude.
Okay. Then if you are sort of staying quiet and hidden, Robin, Grigori, you're sort of catching up to him. Robin, you would hear the ogre or ogre-like creature sort of stands in front of the door and calls out in Giant and says, "Japo, sugar, Hodrath, food, come inside." And then they turn around and start to walk back towards the house.
All right, so it's yelling at the barn.
Yeah, towards the barn.
Okay, so Robin's gonna just whisper to Grigori, who's catching up behind him right now, and just be like, "So there's another one in the barn, I think. I think they're baking."
What are all right? What do you want to try to take them on, or would you prefer to bring the party here to take these? Because I feel like it's not a good idea to leave these behind us if we have to make a quick escape out of the fort.
Yes, also what I'm thinking, but I kind of got a hunch. I don't know if you trust that or not, but these guys are a little bit smaller than the ones that I saw at the fort. They may be affiliated, but there's a chance that they're not. I don't know. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that we might be able to have maybe some assistance depending on how they feel about it all. But do we know where the dogs are? Because we did, in fact, hear the dogs.
I don't hear them right now.
Possible that that's what the ogre was yelling at the barn. I don't.
I mean,
giant, so I'm not sure.
Do you want to find out where the dogs are? Because I can do that right now.
Yeah, I feel like it is a good idea to know before we get
all right
by them.
Sounds good. And
dangerous.
I mean, I can do it basically with the snap of my fingers.
Go for it.
All right, he's gonna take out his any tool. He's gonna flick it into a dog whistle, and he's just gonna blow on it. Just once, just like boop, that's it.
You go, "Boop," and you immediately
once.
hear.
We're gonna have fun.
Yeah, you immediately hear from inside the house. Is
All right, so Grigori, they're in the house. He puts his any tool away.
Got it.
As you guys hear a frantic sort of shouting inside of the house in Giant, and soon enough the door is through which the ogre-like creature is walking back into the house. It's the sort of side door to the house. You see it open. They walk in, close, open. 4 dogs come running out, and as they sort of frantically are smelling and looking around, trying to.
Grigori, don't move, and I'm gonna press the digitation both of us to just smell like swamp mud.
Right. Yeah.
So now we don't smell.
What kind of components are used for prestidigitation?
I have gloves, so I have gloves, so I just snap my fingers, and they're magic gloves that cast.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Lots of prestidigitation, I suppose.
Yep.
The real question is how much can you press to digitize at once?
I believe it's
It's
a cubic foot at a
um,
time.
minute? For smell, I think it only lasts
An hour.
If it only lasts a minute, like I can just snap my fingers again and just like, whoosh.
I know
No.
that like there's a time limit on this though, because I remember Tintrich casting it on somebody in the town where I'm not supposed to be using medic
Mm-hmm.
and getting people getting upset at him for.
Fair enough. But yeah, I'm gonna use that to mask our scent. And if it looks like the dogs are sort of coming towards us,
Yeah.
I have another plan.
All right. I'll move you to this map. I think I'm hoping. Yes, it works. Okay.
Yep.
You technically are within the darkness towards the bottom right, but the crop fields I have off the map. So you're technically 10 feet off, down and to the right in the fields, and
Okay.
you can see what you see right now, which is this over here is the
Barn.
the barn, and that over there is the house itself. From which you do see another large humanoid creature emerge after the dogs, and he's like, "Calm down, calm down, fee, fofu." And he sort of starts chasing after the dogs, trying to grab their collars as they sort of growl and try to sort of chase off in different directions, their noses to the ground, trying to smell. You just continue to stay quiet and still.
And Gregora look at him like, "We can do this. We can not do this. Up to you, man."
I mean, there's like probably 2 ogres. I'm not really feeling this. Just sit still. I'm gonna make you smell like mud again.
Can the rest of us hear what's going on?
No, you're like a mile and a half away.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Gotcha.
we're at the base of the mountain making a
Yeah.
camp.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's been about an hour since you guys. No, actually, 30 minutes since Grigori and Robin left at this point, which is about what you expected to take, because the spot where you heard the cougar was about 30 minutes away. But yeah, the two of you sort of, Robin, you snap your fingers, you make yourselves smell like mud again. You see the dogs sort of, one of them veers a little bit closer to the grass, to the crops, which by the way are wheat, as you're sort of standing among them. And eventually, this creature, sort of the ogre-like creature, moves to grab them and chains them with the other two, and sort of drags them, pulls on their chains, dragging them away. And he goes over to grab the last one. As they're close enough to you, you can go ahead and give me a knowledge local.
Okay.
The two of you. Robin,
Wow.
haven't
I would
seen.
have assisted Robin, knowing that I would have been able to.
Robin, having seen the ogres on the fort, you recognize that these creatures are not ogres, or at least this guy isn't an ogre. They're like a half ogre.
Gotcha. Okay.
And with that,
All right.
you see them chain the last dog and start to drag them back towards the house.
All right. So there are 4 dogs, 2 half ogres, and I feel like that's called a recon. Do we want to see if we can take? I mean, I could just shimmy my way up the barn, look in a window to see what's going on in there.
Yeah, let's do a full recon. Sure, we know everything that is here, so we are not surprised by 2 more half ogres.
Yeah, sounds good to me. And Robin's like the guy's going into the house and he's got the dogs with him and he's closing the door and like they're making a fuckload of noise. So Robin's just gonna be like, all right, well now's fucking as good a time as any.
Yep.
And he's gonna go like right here and he's gonna take a look around, see what's going on.
In the barn?
Yeah.
Okay. The barn doesn't have any windows on the sides. The only opening that it has is above the main door. That there's the sort of opening to pull some hay bales in and out of the place.
All right. Robin's so there's like this kind of beam right here, and Robin's gonna kind of like situate himself sort of like against the wall behind it, kind of thing, press himself up against the wall, and then he's gonna gesture for Grigori to come and like probably hide behind the next beam over here, because we're good for now. And then he's gonna be like, just keep an eye out for me, I'm gonna do my thing. And he's gonna flick out thieves tools, and he's got like a little saw, and he's gonna start sawing like a very small hole that he can look through.
You would need more something more akin like a corkscrew or a corkscrew to drive through the wood. Drill.
Yeah, I mean, I've got thieves tools. I've got any tool for anything I don't have. Like, I got the kit. I'm gonna just like get a little hole going so that I can peek in, and I'll be like, Grigori, take a look. Kind of.
Give me a stealth check.
Sure thing.
Would I be able to assist him with this? Like keeping it stealthy by like maybe like moving some grass around or something? I'm not sure. Oh, a good way to really cover the sound, but
well, the sound of drilling wood is kind of quite distinctive. You could like make it cover it by making it sound like an animal is scratching the wood, sort of thing.
Could I potentially substitute a disabled device?
For this, I mean,
like the thing that like would drill a hole in wood would be like a circular saw, like bit kind of thing, and I feel like it would like you wouldn't get the normal like sawing sound, just more of a.
It is also raining, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you do have some cover, but I still need you to roll a stealth check because it's not whether or not you can make it work. It's more so how noisy are you in doing so.
Probably not. Apparently.
Not much. You manage to sort of slowly. You wait for like a thunder to pass by, and you wait for another, and eventually you feel a little bit of resistance give, and you continue to pull the corkscrew out,
and I mage hand so that I can pluck it towards me so it doesn't fall in.
Sure. You grab the sawdust with your mage hand and pull it through the hole. And the two of you can see there's a hole that is an inch across now in the wall, and you can see through it. For the sake of it, I'm going to move the two of you inside of the building so that the lighting works.
So that we can see. Yeah. Okay.
You can see there are three of these sort of deformed half-ogre humanoids moving around and grabbing some stuff, throwing it over to the corners, and then grabbing clubs and what looks like a hammer, putting it over their shoulders, and like they look at each other and go like rock, paper, scissors over and over again. And eventually, the one closest to you guys wins, slaps the one next to them, and walks out of towards the entrance. And you hear them open up the lock on the inside of the door and walk out.
All right, so as a player, I can see that dude's name is Sugar, which is grossly incorrect because he ain't Sugar.
You did hear the other ogre kin, which is the half ogre, call out for Jeppo, Sugar, and Hograth. Come to get dinner.
Yeah.
I was actually hoping that those names were dog names.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
No. You can assume, because there's no other creature inside this building, that it must be Sugar, Hogarth, and Jeff that are inside.
Robin just looks at Grigori and is like, whoever named Sugar is fucking so stupid. Alright.
mean,
I
they're
know.
also
Okay, so
ogres.
like this doesn't apply to ogres, but maybe if we find some trolls, as far as I'm aware, trolls are named after the first thing they try to eat. So if a troll ever has a really badass name, like fucking Dad, like look out.
You think that that is a badass name?
Well, I mean, if for a troll, yeah, because the first thing that they ate is Dad. So they ate their own father, and that's the first thing that they ate. So you know he's a motherfucker. Because, anyways,
Well, he's actually a father eater, the motherfucker.
yes, exactly. But also some of them are like, yeah, it doesn't matter, whatever. So there are 4 half ogres and 4 dogs, which I mean,
Five.
I
Definitely
believe in you.
You would know that it's 5 because the one that came out with the dogs is not the same one that went out to.
okay, you're right.
You guys got this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
Come on.
bring him
Easy.
out the door.
Let's
and
just
have
cycle the
Grigori-
party.
Yeah.
And go
I'm gonna
in
be
a
honest
blaze
with
of
you,
sweet
as a
glory.
player, I want to wait for just one ogre to be in here and kill him.
I know that's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm like, we could make this really easy because like
Yeah.
Robin can just like show up, knock him the fuck out, and then just like we can just gag him and then just ask him yes or no questions because I can speak giant.
Oh, I was thinking about just killing him, and then when one comes out to be like, "Why is this dude taking so long to come get dinner?" We
And
kill
then that
him,
dude's alone. Yeah,
and
I
then,
mean,
and then the other 2 or the other 3 will likely come out together, and we can just kill 2 out of the 3 and leave the last one alive.
yeah. All right. And so Robin, and Grigori are thinking up this plan, and it's pretty much just like, hey, so as a player, do we want to try and figure out what these guys are doing out here because they're not at the fort and they're not full ogres? So do we want to try and see if maybe they're like, maybe if they don't like the ogres because they fucking, I don't know, raped and pillaged or whatever, or like, do we just want to fucking murder them?
As a player, I feel like we should talk to them, but I feel like it is definitely going to be a party thing.
Okay, I can definitely figure this one out. I detect evil through the hole.
Sure, you detect evil.
All right. So Robin's gonna turn to Grigori and is like, I feel like we should go with your plan. Because those are some evil motherfuckers.
Yeah, as you're looking through the hole and you detect evil, you do see that Hallgreth and Sugar are once again going rock, paper, scissors, go. Rock, paper, scissors, go. Rock, paper, scissors, go. Ah! Poof! Slaps the other one. It looks like Hallgreth won, and Sugar is left alone in the building as he leaves.
Or we could kill the one on this way to the house and then kill the one in the barn.
I mean, yeah, you want to give it a go?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll let
Take
you-
your shot.
Oh,
Can-
okay.
Can I ask a quick out of character question?
Yep.
That I think just because I'm a D&D noob, are half ogres always considered evil?
No.
Not necessarily. There are some tendencies for certain types of creatures to have a certain alignment, but it's with certain exceptions. It very rarely is the case that because a creature is a certain type, it must be evil or it must be.
Gotcha.
But that being said, in Pathfinder, aren't like ogres always like super evil?
Super inbred.
Yeah,
so,
aren't they like the super like
They're like really
raping,
big
pillaging, and
Joffreys.
eating and torturing things?
Yes,
They do
yes,
that.
but it's a yes but situation. So ogres
Gotcha.
in general are very evil and very pillage, plunder, murder, and rape. But you can still have an ogre that is not evil because it doesn't follow
Yes.
the standard.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just pointing out like of all the things, like your first answer totally correct, and I just would be like, though,
Yeah.
if you're gonna make snap judgments, ogres are not a bad place to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Hold up. Let me just be
Okay.
sure. Detect evil. All right, we're
Yeah.
gonna fucking kill him.
Yeah. Okay.
The-
Sorry. Carry on.
And just for future reference, Salera, the sort of go-to answer is, for instance, undead by default are evil because being undead forces you to be evil because your soul is shattered when you become an undead.
Right. Gotcha.
So,
Alright,
you do see Hallgrath open the door and walk out and run across the field sort of sort of happily sort of jogging over as they're going over to get dinner.
Do I get one attack or do I get a full round of attacks?
Technically, you only have a standard action during a surprise round.
Okay, I'll just do the one attack then.
Okay.
Actually, I can make this real easy. And this is technically +2 to hit because I'm not using my rapid shot. So 27 for 17.
Okay. You take aim. They're completely unaware of you and let loose an arrow and as they take the shot on their back, they survive it, and we go into combat initiative.
Can I take a swift action as part of my surprise?
Sure. As your surprise round. Because you'll only get a standard.
Okay, hold on. Because I need to be able to pop a key point so that I can increase my movement speed by 30 feet. And then I need to move as my standard action. Take a standard or a move action. You can also take free actions. So I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to use my standard action to increase my movement speed.
Okay.
How long does that last for? For a round. Okay. So yeah. So my movement speed will be 60.
Okay. Give me just 1 second, as I need to go ahead and roll initiative for you guys.
Sure thing.
Thank God for favorite terrain.
Oh, good shit. Yeah.
Or me getting a bonus regardless of where I am.
Not given a book.
Oh yeah, this dude is not surviving the round. He's gonna go, "Arr!" and then boom, boom.
If I can actually hit.
Well,
Which I feel like I probably can if I go before him. Which I
Okay.
do. Okay, we're good.
I don't
we're all
think
right.
it through my turn. I didn't
Oh,
have to
true.
attack.
Yeah, you straight up go first. Yeah, okay. That's fine then.
Why y'all jinxing yourselves? Jesus.
I mean, if I missed with 3 attacks in a row.
I
that'll
mean,
be
you've
impressive.
done it
Well-
before.
Wait, no,
Yeah.
that attack would have been your standard action. So then it's
Yeah.
Robin and then it's him.
Well,
But he
yeah,
doesn't act, so then you go again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
okay.
shoot
All right.
And then you get to do what I assume is increasing your movement speed. And then I
Yep.
turn.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
That's
what-
exactly it. Yep.
And then out.
All right. Boop. Sending. All right. Grigori, it is your turn as you hear Hogwarts go ah as they scream in pain by the arrow lodged in their back.
A little louder than I wanted it, but whatever. I'm gonna lean into him.
Yeah, that'll do it.
The second arrow takes them down, and they hit the ground.
Cool.
Do you want to empty the 2 other arrows, or are you holding back?
I would probably just hold it, and then since it only took 1 shot, I'll take my move action.
Okay.
I can move over here. What is it? What is this wall that I'm against? Is it just
That's where the grass starts.
okay.
It's just empty blackness because I didn't think people would use the grass.
Oh.
I left it outside the map when I made it.
No problem.
Do you just want to keep moving down? I can adjust it.
Well,
so-
that's my. Well, I would probably move like 1 down just to be in the grass, and we can just say that I'm just adjacent to this square.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
You're in
myself
the
in.
grass 1 square below. Okay. Got it. Robin.
Robin's going to move single move to here. He's going to put 1 hand on each of the arrows, pull them out. He's going to move another 15 feet for a single action there. And then he's going to move 35 feet to here and 25 feet up the wall of the barn.
It would put you on the roof.
Yes. So he's going to sort of like lie down on top of the roof because there's a hole above the door that he can go in
Yeah.
to get to sugar if he has to. But he's basically just lying in wait and ready.
Okay. Then, as the round comes to an end, you would hear the door open up, and you see the first Orgikin who came out to announce that food was ready, as well as the other Orgikin, Jeppo, sort of step out, and I'm gonna add them to the initiative. Alright. So Jeppo comes up first. You would see him sort of walk out, and they look around, see that Hallgreth is face down on the ground, and go, Hallgreth. And they walk up to them, and kneel down and say, oh, he dead. As he looks over, and they're speaking in Giant. He looks over their shoulder and says, "He dead," calling back towards the kitchen. And you would see the other one sort of walk out and walk up to Hallgreth as well. And as they see that they're dead, they unsheath from their back a metal hook. And Grigori, it is your turn.
Okay. Who do I want to put down first?
Right? Decisions.
I think we'll go with Jebbo.
Okay, go for it.
3 arrows.
I need both of you to give me a stealth check, though.
Sure thing.
Oh, that's right. I don't have stealth on. This isn't my other one. I've used stealth so much on God.
On your other archer.
Yeah.
And
I mean, to be fair, it's not like he ever really needs it because he's just invisible all the time.
yep.
Yep.
Talk about, man, that would be handy right now.
Yeah. Okay. So Grigori, it is your turn. From the looks of it, they haven't been able to spot you, but they are looking around trying to see how on Earth their family member was murdered.
All right. Well, I actually shot before you asked for the stealth.
Yep.
So 29 for 21, 32 for 17, 17 for 18.
So which one
On
are
Jeppo.
you? You're on Jeppo? All right. So you.
Yeah.
The first.
It's saying it's on because it's definitely off.
Too late. So the first shot hits Jeppo. The second one finishes them off. And technically, I'm guessing the third one you shoot at the other guy.
Yeah.
Ooh, actually, let me double check.
Yeah, I'm not sure if 17 hits. Well, it says buff haste, but haste is off on my character sheet. And that's what confuses me. And I'm not getting a haste attack, so. Weird.
Double check because it might be turn it on and back off, I guess. But on a 17, you hit the one that is still standing. As they look around with their ochre hook in hand, and sort of looking your general direction, ready to charge at you.
Fortunately, that's my turn.
All right, then Robin, it is yours.
Yeah, so that guy's looking at Grigori, correct?
Yes.
Fucking sweet. All right. Robin's just gonna go ahead and light step so that he's gonna jump off of the roof.
It's still gonna take up
And-
25 feet of movement to get down from the roof.
Yes. And he's going to sort of light step to slide, kind of thing.
You sort of
So that-
throw the most surface level of water aside as you glide and slide.
No, I don't even touch it because light steps. I literally don't disturb the terrain that I'm standing on.
Yeah.
It's fucking sick. I can
So
technically.
you use the slight level of moisture to slide across it.
Yes.
I imagine
Yes, literally.
you are moving air as you move, so there are still like ripples on the water.
Yep.
But otherwise, it is as if you were floating on the water.
So
Above.
that was what, 25 feet you said?
25 to get down from the rooftop, and then whatever you did, 20.
And then
Or are you
20?
like straight up jumping in a diagonal?
I'm
Just, like,
straight up
leaping off?
jumping in a diagonal.
Yeah.
25 then?
Then give me an acrobatics, because if you're jumping off from a 20-foot high building.
Okey-dokey. Well, it's not 1, but it's still an 18.
Yeah, but
actually, it's a 22. Sorry.
yeah.
Jesus.
I'll say it's still a 15-foot drop because you're the first 10 are ignored. However, I will say you sort of land and roll, and you manage to get yourself back up, but you do take some damage, and it is very obvious that you didn't just land there.
All right, how much is it?
I think it would be 1d6.
2 points of damage.
All right,
You have ablative barrier on.
I sure do. So
You
that's
you
nothing.
take no damage.
Yes,
As you
and then
land.
that's
But you should
25
track
feet?
it, just in case you take 50
I am
points of
tracking
damage.
it. Yes. 25 feet to there. Yes.
I'll say because it's a diagonal, 30. Kind of
30.
wonky.
Okay, so then
Wonky diagonal. Hang on.
40 to here, and I'm going to double move to. I'm going in behind him, even though there's like no facing
Yeah.
in
yeah,
Pathfinder, but I'm going to assume that because I'm intentionally avoiding his line of sight, I can make a stealth ending there because he can't fucking see me.
No, he can see you. If you're just standing.
It's dim light.
It's currently
But-
dim light, not full darkness in here. Also,
Okay, then I'll
there's
just spend a key point to be invisible then,
okay. You
and I'll just
disappear as you're walking towards them. Ooh. I will say before you finalize making that decision, I will say you are aware that being invisible in a heavy storm does outlaw you.
It does, but
Yes.
I'm gonna be air quote stealthing, so I'm lower to the ground. This dude's like 8 feet tall, and
It's
he's
still-
also looking at Grigori and not me.
Yes.
So
It
I'm
does-
banking on the fact that I can make it.
Yes. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check. It does still make you transparent, but if someone knew that you were there, they would be able to see your outline essentially.
Yes. So that's
Sure.
plus whatever.
Plus 10 from or 20 from invisibility?
20 from
And I
invisibility.
don't remember.
20 because I moved. Yeah.
He is gonna ignore you. He doesn't seem to he saw something moving towards him. He's like, ah, and then starts running towards Grigori, sort of as you're arriving, almost like he didn't
Alright.
quite measure how fast you were moving.
All right. So I'm gonna attack him as he
Yep.
provokes.
Yeah.
Knock him the fuck out.
21 for fucking I
20,
can't count.
28.
8, 26, 36.
Yeah, 36, yeah.
36.
36? Oh, adept.
30.
Yeah,
36,
36.
yeah.
You sort of thunk, punch them in the back as they move the first 5 foot, which breaks your invisibility, and then turn around and look down at you, and raise their iron hook and lay on you. What's your AC? Oh, never mind. As they sort of stumble forward and turn around to take a swing at you, their knee sort of gives under their weight as their sort of bottom half of their body is sort of half paralyzed by the blow, and they sort of end up sinking their hook into the ground and quickly pull themselves up, trying to shove you away from them. And Grigori, it is your turn. As
You're
I
just getting arrows in the back.
Yeah, dude, you're just getting one arrow in the back, and that's gonna do it, friend.
no, the first arrow does not do it. As he
No,
sort
the
of
full attack.
he's still standing on after the first blow, and then the second one he takes in the back.
So
Goes
that
down.
dude took a shitload of non-lethal. That is important, I
Yeah,
think.
he is unconscious, not dead.
Yes.
Yes.
And you'll hear Grigori say door.
Which is open
Point
right
to
now.
the door.
Yep, and Robin will nod. Yep, yeah, yeah, I got you. Hold on.
And that's my turn.
Yeah.
All right.
Technically.
Yeah, Robin, it is your turn.
I fucking move 35 feet here and I close the fucking door.
Fuck those nuts.
Yeah, that's not happening right now. Robin like presses up against the door like
Yeah, you
Thumbs up.
run up, you close the door, put your back against it, and like as you were running, you could see that the thing, and also as you were standing at the door, the inside of that place is a kitchen, and on the
Yep.
table was the corpse of a fire-proud cougar, sort of cut open.
Okay. That's clean. I'm glad to know that they have a healthy diet.
Yeah, it is technically out of combat right now.
I'm gonna hide again and wait for Sugar to come out and shoot him in the face.
Robin's just gonna stand there doing fucking nothing. He's just gonna be like plastered against the wall and just not moving.
Nothing happens. Nobody comes out. You're still waiting. You're still waiting. Still waiting.
Okay. So if nothing happens after like 12 seconds.
Nothing
Yeah,
happens
see,
after
Robin-
30.
Okay. Yeah, Robin's just gonna double move to here and be like, okay, there's one more. Do you want to do like a Nikki 9 doors or what do you want to do?
That works for me. But wasn't there?
All right. There's one more in the house, I think.
Yeah, there's one in the house, one in the barn.
One in the barn. So let's take the barn first because that's probably going to be the easiest.
Agreed.
Okay, cool. And Robin's just gonna go here, climb up to wherever the height of the door is, like 10 more feet,
Yep.
and just take a look inside.
Yep. I'll move you inside of the buildings just so you can see.
I'm gonna
Sugar's-
take a double move over to here.
Okay. You run across the field and stand on the other side. Robin, as you're sort of standing, grabbing onto the ledge and seeing on the other side of the wall, Sugar is sort of with sort of impatiently moving back and forth, and like sort of mumbling to themselves. Oh, I'm so hungry. They said cougar was in the menu tonight. As they sort of, sort of kick the ground, kicking up a cloud of dust.
Okay, Robin's just gonna look behind him, see if Grigor is in position.
Looks like it.
I would move a little bit more into these bushes and then draw my bow.
All right.
Okay, now it looks like it.
Okay. Robin's gonna nod, and he's just gonna like climb over the door and along the wall because he can kind of do that
Yeah.
because he's Spider-Man.
Go ahead and give
from,
me
like,
this place does.
stealth?
Give me a stealth. This place does have some illumination in it.
Okay.
Hanging from the ceiling, there is a bit of a not a chandelier, but there's like a
Oh, that's
razor
good.
sort of thing.
Robin was actually gonna speak anyways, so that
Okay.
kind of makes sense.
Oh, I don't think. Yeah, I forgot to put
It's
the.
a 14 casually.
Give me 1 second, because the chandelier is missing now that I look at it. In terms of the light.
Also, I just realized that your stealth is only 3 points higher than mine.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason that Rory offers to go with you on a regular basis.
Yeah, because you're fucking sneaky boys. The good
Yeah.
shit.
And so far, this is working exactly how I saw it working.
Yeah, this is going flawlessly. I don't
this is-
see any problem with this. Yeah, this is working perfectly.
Alright,
I'm still scared of the dogs and the other we're getting out though.
Yeah.
So Robin, you sneak in. You do see Sugar. Sugar doesn't immediately spot you, and then sort of kicks up another dust and like looks up because like a pebble sort of goes bouncing in your direction and looks up and it's like, "Hey, you're not supposed to be here," and grabs something next to them, like holding it in their hand. It looks like a metal box, can, like a small barrel maybe. Hard to tell.
Okay.
Very poor craftsmanship. And
Uh-huh.
thunk chucks it at you.
Nice. All right.
Why do I kind of love Sugar? Like, can we keep
There's a
him?
reason we left him till then.
Uh,
Can we keep him?
You're not flat-footed because you have a climb speed, don't you?
Correct.
The the barrel, baby, crashes next to you, explodes into smithereens. Bits of wood go flying everywhere, and then sort of rain down on you, dealing no damage but making you slightly uncomfortable. And Sugar grabs
Description was perfect.
Sugar grabs the hook next to them and starts moving in your general direction.
All right.
At which point,
So Robin's just gonna say in giant, he's gonna be like, "Yeah, no, there is cougar. There's actually more cougar for you, specifically. This is like good things come to those who wait."
oh, more cougar. That's good.
Yeah.
I also have some human.
I mean, there's a field of them up the hill if you want those.
I know. I got more of them here too, but I can't eat
Oh.
them. I'm gonna eat you though. You look very tender.
You got humans here you can't eat, huh? How many?
Enough.
Oh, right. Sorry, you can't count. 3, and he's gonna hold up fingers on his hand. 3.
Oh yes, that many. Wait.
Oh, okay, good. Thanks for letting me know. And Robin's just gonna like fucking lean over the door and just fall outside.
Hey, come back here! I'm not supposed to tell you that.
And he's gonna fucking look at Grigori and open the door.
Yeah. You hear the thump, 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 thump as Sugar is running after you. The door opens from the inside as you're sort of pushing them. And you do see Sugar is on the other side. And Grigori, you can go ahead and roll that attack.
That's a 19 because I'm not taking the other 2 attacks.
He's also flat-footed. You headshot.
Yeah, he's fucking dead. Yeah.
The first one lands on their chest, and because you're gonna go before him, I'll just take the second and third attack.
Yeah, that works.
Just
Oh my God.
plow into him, killing him immediately as 3 arrows land on his chest and kill him outright.
And Robin sort of just like pushes him to make him fall all the way over.
No, it's more like
I help.
if you've seen the movies when the dudes get shot, they sort of spaz in like still standing. They start their like spasming while standing. It's like, oh no, I'm being shot, sort of thing. But multiple arrows, and then you like push him over.
Push him over. Yeah.
Yeah. And land on the ground, quite with a resounding thud and kicking up a little bit of dust around them.
All right. Well, and then Robin's gonna just kind of like push the door and just like kind of just like kick his arm back inside of the barn and just shove the door back closed.
Are you walking
There you
into the inside of the barn then?
No, I'm just closing the door so that like
Okay.
if anybody looks at it, they don't just see Sugar dead.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because the other 3 dead half ogres are.
Yeah, but they might call for backup and actually expect backup. Yeah.
So-
Yeah. Not that they're smart, but hey.
Okay. So you once again are technically out of combat.
Robin's just gonna double move over to Grigori and be like, well, that's good. That's going pretty well. So they have like 3 human hostages.
Oh, we probably should. Well, if they're alive, we probably should.
Yeah, they said something about not being able to kill them. So I'm pretty sure they're hostages and alive.
Do you want to check the windows, see if there's the one last ogre in there? And if not, we can.
Yeah, sure. I'll go ahead. I'll do that. I'll double move up to this wall.
Yep.
Wait a bit, and then like peek around.
Sure. As you peek around, the windows here are like boarded up from the inside, like partially boarded up. You can sort of peek through. It looks like there is a little bit of light in there, like a candlelight. And in the gleam of the candlelight, you do see sort of dragging themselves across the floor what looks like a stumped-legged ogrekin, sort of dragging themselves using their arms as their only mode of transportation. And as you look across,
Robin just like, what? Okay, all right.
As you look through the other window, you see another one that has like really long arms, but short legs, and they're sort of walking with their hands sort of touching the ground, as they sort of grab two dolls, and they're sort of, I say dolls, but it looks like fetishes because they're looks like they're made of bones and pieces of hair, human hair, as they're sort of playing with them essentially.
All right, I detect evil. Because I really hope that these guys aren't evil.
The one that doesn't have legs, or has legs cut down, misshapen at the knee, does detect as evil. The other one doesn't.
All right, so Robin's gonna move
child.
back. Yeah, Robin's gonna move back and be like, yeah, so there's one that looks like it's had both of its legs amputated and it's crawling along the floor. That one's fair game. The other one that has dolls isn't actually evil. So if we could like not murder that one.
Is there any way that you could find out if they are actual people alive in there, like humans to save? 'Cause
I
if
mean,
not, I say we just grab the one you punched really hard and then just leave.
don't think we can carry that big boy.
I would assume that we rode our horses up to the forest. Well, Grigori would, at the very least.
Yeah.
Yeah, then
That's fair.
Pashka's waiting somewhere on the road then.
Yeah.
Robin's gonna be like, yeah, I don't know exactly where they are, but if I talk, the one that has its legs amputated. The
If
what?
we have
Sorry.
If we have to go in, what we can do, we can open up the door. You can blow the dog whistle. The dogs come out, and once they spread out and start sniffing the dead bodies, we go inside, shut the door, and then we can deal with whatever's inside without any issue.
That's actually a really good idea. Yeah, I'm gonna make a prestidigitation for smell lasts 1 minute, right?
Hour, actually.
1 hour.
An hour?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
perfect.
Not 100% correct with that last hour.
Both
Yeah.
changes in color, taste, and smell last for an hour.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so Robin's gonna go ahead. He's just gonna grab like a stick from this bush, and he's gonna walk over here. He's gonna cast prestidigitation on it to make it smell like bacon. Shove it inside of like a hole inside of this half ogre. Let go of it. Make himself smell like mud again.
Okay.
Move back to Grigori.
I figure
And
we're
be
going
like-
to be heading towards the door anyways.
Yeah. We could head like here or something like that. And then he's gonna blow a dog whistle from the any tool and be like, "Yep."
Yeah, you once again, and you hear the. No, not again! No! You hear the clashing of furniture and glass breaking as dogs are probably moving inside the house.
Robin, you forgot to open the door.
I mean, I didn't lock it.
The dog.
But it opens outwards. They can just run into it like they did last time, right?
You do suddenly hear a as one of the dogs gets hurt by something, and then there's silence.
Fucking that motherfucker's hurting a goddamn dog, and he peers over the window.
You don't see anything inside. Like, you see the kitchen, you see the corpse, you see two doors leading in or out of the kitchen, depending on which way you're going. But there's no dogs, no ogre, no nothing.
Could I climb up onto the roof?
It is 2-story building.
Oh,
the-
Jesus. All right, okay.
Yeah.
That's too much. I don't want to do that. That's way too far. I want to be able to get into the door quickly without them knowing that I'm there.
Okay. Yeah, Robin's just gonna head over to the door, just like open it, but not all the way, sort of in such a way that like the wind could push it open or slam it shut kind of thing.
Okay. And sort of slowly pushes in, and it's left ajar. And
All right, now-
As the door sort of creaks open, that is where we're going to leave it for tonight because we are on our 3-hour mark.
Okay.
And that is going to be our cliffhanger.
Squeaky door.
Squeegee door. Alright, sorry to the three of you who stayed behind for just having to witness the commando unit go on to town on the Awaken. But I hope that everyone enjoyed the session nonetheless.
Yeah.
Apologies if we hijacked it at all.
Sorry,
Yeah.
things happen. It worked out well. So.
Yeah.
It really did.
Yeah, as soon as Grigori hit that first shot, I said to Robert, "Well, this will be easy for you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like,
I was
"That's so."
expecting them to have more health than that.
Yeah, same. I was just like, "Oh, this 5 that might be tough with the 2 of you." And that first shot, I was like, "Never mind, you'll be fine."
There you go.
On that note,
I was just
then,
thinking, I'm like, you guys could do this. It's like, it's just if anything goes wrong,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
you're right.
Alright, on that note, I'm gonna call the stream. So bye, stream.
Bye,
Bye,
stream.
stream. Peace.